Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into a very, very special stream. I have been waiting my whole life to have a 727 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I cannot be more excited. I was going to do our big reveal stream tomorrow, but since I don't know how to decipher time zones very well, I realized that the NDA lifted tonight at 7 p.m. right on the dot. So here we are. Of course, we're going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a big one. Tomorrow, we're going to be a little bit more in depth. We're going to be in the mountains of Colombia. But I couldn't just go to sleep tonight not streaming the 727, knowing that the NDA was lifted. So we are here. Shout out to FSS Flight Sim Studios for including me in the pre-release streamer version of the aircraft. Just keep in mind, chat, that or anybody watching this on replay, that this is still an early version of the aircraft, and what you see and hear today may not represent the final product. They are Tim, A-Rod, FSS, everybody. They're working overtime. Discord's been pinging. They're logging little bugs here and there. I was gone yesterday, and in the last day and a half that I've been gone, there's been 2 new beta updates to the airplane. So it is rapidly changing. There has been a published release date for the 6th of August, so hopefully they will meet that target. If not, at least we'll be able to show you what they got so far, and I think y'all are going to be very, very excited. So shout out to everyone in chat. Thank you all for tuning in. I know it's super late for everybody here. If you're over in Europe, it's super, super late. Midnight Zulu right now. I normally don't stream this late, but like I said, I couldn't go to bed knowing that I could stream this bird. So here we are. Dom Pellegrino, I want to give you a shout out, sir. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs and a $20 super chat before things got fired off there on the stream. I really appreciate the support, my man. I know you're working hard. I've been seeing your pictures in the Discord. Absolutely awesome. Thank you for your service, sir. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and change this over here and reset the camera, and boom, here we are, chat. We're sitting on the ramp in MKJS Sangster. Looks like I do have my vPilot up and running. Again, this is a brand new computer, so I'm still installing everything, getting my Iveo Premium set up, getting all the traffic set up, and a couple other add-ons. So it's still kind of a mess. You may see some mismatched models and no liveries, but it is what it is. At least we're back on some sort of a network, and I have been trying to get my GSX to work. I think I might just have to purchase another key tomorrow. We shall see, because I want to use GSX on the cargo. It's pretty cool how the cargo animations. I mean, I'm sure you'll see it. There's probably a couple streamers already showing the cargo ops with GSX integration, but for some reason, I'm just having an issue getting it loaded. Nothing to do with this airplane, just a problem. I even sent an email to do a forum post, and I haven't even gotten approval for that, so it's just ridiculous. Anyway, let's keep it positive vibes here. Look at this beautiful bird, y'all, now that the sun just went behind the clouds, unfortunately. But some of you were asking, I saw in the Discord, you see some early images. The airplane is quickly changing from those images that you saw from months ago, and everything is being reworked. I think this latest update even added some new riveting textures, and I can't wait to show you the cockpit, because this cockpit is absolutely juicy as well. I was hoping the sun would pop out of the cloud here, but I guess not. I guess we'll just have to take it in. But here she is in all her glory. We're in the Amerijet International livery. This is a real-world livery, real-world operator of the 727. They don't operate them anymore, obviously. I think who still operates them? There's one, Aerosucra. There's a couple I don't think anybody in North America operates them anymore. I think it's all done. Kalita charters too, maybe. But anyway. Zippy, I did not, unfortunately, man. I think Kalita has stopped flying them. But here we go. Enough of this. Let's go ahead and get in the airplane right now. Boom, here we are in the cockpit. Hope you're seeing it in 2K. If you're not, reminder, you can check this stream out in 2K. The cockpit is absolutely fantastic. The gauges look great. Obviously, it's behind the, you should see it in the sun. I mean, if the sun sets, we'll go ahead and bring it back a little bit. But I mean, this cockpit is looking really, really good. And I'll show you the flight engineer panel. The whole cockpit is modeled, obviously, but really good. And this is one of the things that I initially saw when FSS first announced that they're releasing the aircraft. They had some very early screenshots of this aircraft, and I said, oh man, the cockpit looks a little like low res or whatever. No more of that. It looks absolutely fantastic. I actually enjoy this cockpit more than the MD-11 cockpit. We flew the MD-11 for almost a week straight. This one, to me, it just maybe it's because it's a 727 and it's got more round gauges. This is my dream, this 727 cockpit. So it looks absolutely fantastic, and we're going to fire it up, and I hope you guys will listen to the sounds and enjoy this airplane. So let's get into it, and we are going to be using the SIVA INS. A quick note on this. This is the first aircraft to be released in the sim with the SIVA, or what is it really, a Delco carousel. I keep calling it a SIVA. But this is fully functional. It works just fine. It is working like it does with the real aircraft, as in it is an independent unit. So we'll talk about that en route. We're also going to back up our route with basic VOR navigation. Now, there are going to be additional FMS, and you can still use your GPS, your TDS, and PMS. We're not going to use any of that today because I think that's sacrilegious to put those advanced GPS units in the 727, but they do work. You can fly with them, and they are going to be shipping the bird with multiple options so you can have your navigation. Yeah, the Carousel 4A, so that's where it gets the C and then IVA. So yeah, Delco Carousel, but I just call it a SIVA. And you remember last time we flew the SIVA and X-Plane, we flew that pretty extensively on the Concorde and also on some of the FlyJ stuff. So it's been a minute. I think I've fully refreshed on this nav, and it should be fun. So let's go ahead and fire it up and go and get this thing fired. I'm just too excited. Let's go. All right, so we're going to start. Actually, stand by. I want to show y'all one more thing. Crew Manager. Now, this is really cool, and I'll talk about this later. I've been using this kind of in the critical phases of flight, but you have to remember, this airplane in real life is a 3-person cockpit. You've got a captain, you've got a first officer, and the flight engineer. And they're not just like, having a flight engineer on, say, a DC-10. I guess they were still pretty busy on the original DC-10, had the flight engineer. Everybody's got a lot to do in the 727. So there are times where the workload is very, very challenging working this airplane single pilot. This makes it extremely easy. You can literally, if you want to, do the pre-flight before start check, start up the engines, run everything, and it will do everything for you. I think it would be cool. Right now, nothing like, you'll see, we'll do it here on some of the critical phases. There's no like voice telling you what's happening, but you hear and you can hear and see the switches flipping. I think it'd be a cool feature in the future, maybe to have it like being read out so you know what's happening around you. But if you're struggling or you just want to do your first flight, you got to go through the procedure manager here. He'll set up, he or she, whoever you want it to be, will set it up for you perfectly. And it's a really neat little system here with this high workload aircraft. I've been using it mostly with taxi before takeoff, because before takeoff will get your lights for you, and after takeoff. One of the critical features, which I'm sure some of you will run into here on the 727, the pressurization panel after takeoff. Once you are airborne, you need to go from ground to flight mode. You need to flip this switch for your pressurization to work properly. If you forget, because you're high workload environment, positive rate, gear up, flying the airplane, ATC's talking, and you forget this switch, you're going to have issues with your pressurization. I had some with mine. So what happens is if you do the after takeoff crew manager, that's one of the first thing that the flight engineer will flip. That's the ground flight switch for you. So it really kind of minimizes you having to switch your cameras around all the time. But if you want the challenge of doing everything yourself, you can do it all yourself. There's a couple other things here. Automatic monitoring. Let's talk about this briefly because I do have mine on right now, and I may change this eventually. But there are a couple things here that are pretty neat that just help minimize the little things that can be annoying to do over and over. Fuel heat operates fuel heating during taxi and flight if necessary. Now, this is kind of fun to do on your own, especially if you're doing a long haul. But on a short flight today, we're going to run all the automation on. Tomorrow, we might limit some of the automation, such as controlling the pack's temperature. This can also be pretty demanding, running the packs and getting the temperature set so you don't have the trip cut out and all that stuff. So that will be, if you have that on, it's automatically taken care of by the flight engineer. My favorite two, though, are airspeed bug and EPR limits. So EPR limits for takeoff and landing and cruise, you're going to have different EPR limits that'll be set. And you can come here and set them yourself, or you can just have it done automatically like your first officer or the pilot not flying, or the non-flying pilot, I would imagine, would set the EPR bugs while you're in flight. And then, before takeoff, you do your takeoff brief, you'll set your EPR bugs. But he or she takes care of that for you, because it just, now you just look over here, you have your new EPR bug set, you know where to put the throttles, and it just is a big help. So that's one of my favorites. And then the airspeed bug. So if you set the airspeed bug to climb and descent profile, makes it a lot easier for you. Now this one is not too critical because this is a manual airplane. You're going to be flying this airplane. You're going to turn the flight directors off. Heck, I haven't even been using the flight directors until I'm pretty much in the climb out. Everything's cleaned up, and then I might turn them on, or even in cruise. Now there's also another little switch here you may not be familiar with. Some 727s actually had a very rudimentary auto throttle system. This is toggleable option. You can have this engaged, or you can have it, I guess, installed in this aircraft or not, but it has its limitations. It's a very rudimentary auto throttle, and it is recommended for only being used during cruise flight. So if you want to, do a longer flight, get up and cruise, you can set your auto throttle on, have your automation on, your fuel heat, your fuel transfer, and you can go do whatever you need to take care of and come back, which makes this airplane even more enjoyable for those longer flights. Because here's the last automation here, the fuel feed. I've on our previous iterations of the 727 and X-plane, I say long haul, but I basically did a full tank flight, and I went and did something. I came back, I was so far out of balance I couldn't get it back balanced in time, and I just had a bunch of issues. This is pretty cool. It will balance the fuel for you. Quick tip on I guess we're kind of doing an overview here before we start up. We'll continue rolling with it. But the fuel system for this aircraft, the 727, you want to be going on a tank-to-engine configuration. However, if your center tank or number 2 tank is higher than your wing tanks, you want to burn from this tank first. So while you're flying and talking to ATC, you may not notice that your center tank is finally equal to your number 1 and 3 tanks. So you forget to turn the pumps off or whatever it is. The fuel automation will take care of that for you. Or, like I said, if you just want to be hardcore, which we're going to be more hardcore tomorrow, we'll probably do some. And like on short flights, it's not too much of a big deal, but you can have this fully automated. Everything does work here. Transfer valves, all that stuff is simulated and does work according to how it should. So now that I kind of went through that spiel, I wasn't really expecting to go through that whole spiel for the crew manager. Let's actually fire this airplane up first. And I tell you what, we're going to go, let's hook up the ground cart. I'll show you here on the EFB, and it's not an EFB, it's a not even a tablet, it's a clipboard, which I really, really love. This brings me back to when I used to fly cargo. We didn't have EFBs, we didn't have that stuff. It was a clipboard, called it a can, had papers in it, and that was it. That was your book. You didn't carry an iPad with you. Now, this is, I think they're going to adjust the position or I make it adjustable, which would be kind of cool, because the way I have my view set up when I bring the clipboard out, it's pretty much right in your face. It doesn't bother me. I'd like to be able to move it just a little bit further out. But I mean, used to, that's why it's up here, is because I have my view set up like right here, so the clipboard is basically in my face. So you can see here we got a couple doors open, we got chocks and cones installed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the ground power outside of the aircraft. It's going to go ahead and spool up. You can hear it starting up. You can see here our nav options. We do the INS. Here's your 530, 750 XI, which I don't have these installed right now, so they're grayed out. Of course, I'm running off Imperial units. I guess before we go on, let's continue with our pre-flight here. We've got our SimBrief integration. So this is kind of the default. I'm going to go ahead and download the flight plan. This is us from MKJS to San Juan. And what we can do is got 11 minutes and 19 seconds if you hit play, and it's going to start loading the aircraft in real time, or according to this time, or you can hit the fast forward button and have an insta load. Now it does work with GSX. Again, I apologize, I don't have a GSX installed right now, but we're going to leave this page here. We'll come back to that. Let's go ahead and get the airplane fired up. So let's go right on to battery power. Let's go ahead and move this to external power, and let's go ahead and connect. Actually, hold on, let's take it off. Come on, baby. Stand by. Why aren't you connecting? So it works on ground service. Well, don't do this to me now. We had a juice. Our cart's plugged in. There she goes. Okay. Flick it on. Oh, that's a flick switch. Oh, that's one thing you should know. So the switches here, you can see there's no like arrow manipulation. Use your mouse wheel. I was clicking and dragging, and I think I was dragging it to the off position. Bad GPU. We're up and running. Airplane is alive. We're up and running. We got our juice on. Let's go ahead and come over here. Let's get our navigation lights on. It's a little bit loud. Let me turn this back down. We'll go ahead and arm the emergency exit lights. We'll squawk 2000 while I'm looking at it right here. We'll put this off for right now. I'm looking at it. Skill issue, A-Rot. Yeah. I mouse wheel everything, but for some reason I was trying to click and drag that one. I'll hit a magic barrel ref key. All right, so our GPU is up and running. A couple things we can do while we're over here. We're not going to have any ground air or anything right now because our APU's not on, but let's go ahead and set our flight altitude. I'm going to work my way down the flight engineer panel first. Our cruise altitude is 31,000 feet. If you look here on the scheduling, if I go to 310, we should be pressurizing at 4. So let's go ahead and set our cabin altitude to 4. That looks good. Our landing altitude is 100, or it's not even 100 feet, it's 50 feet. So 50 feet is set for there. You can run it into the check. It's going to do the, you get the standby on the auto fail light. I'll just put that back into auto, and that looks good. Well, I know we don't have the APU up and running yet, but let's go ahead and open the cooling doors. So on the ground we'll have cooling doors full open. So we'll open the first and second cooling door. Don't burn up the app on this one. Oh, don't burn up the APU. Yeah, we're not going to burn up the APU on this one. We got those open. That looks good. And I'm working my way down the panel here. You can do your oil quantity test. Want to make sure that the gauges are not just stuck, and we actually have proper oil quantity across the board. That looks good. I'll test my emergency lights here in this little panel. That looks good. We got the forward entry and upper cargo light. You do have a fluorescent panel here. We don't really need. I guess we can leave it on. You want that on? I don't know. I think it's a little bit too early in the daytime though. Come down here. Let's look at our ground interconnect. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the B's on. You're going to see it's going to pressurize hydraulic system B. We're going to make sure that using the ground interconnect we can pressurize hydraulic system A. And ground interconnect is open. Pressurization's moving over. Water, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Pick up a membership from Water. Make sure you shout them out. Say thank you. Appreciate you, man. We use those panel fluorescents a lot, even in daylight. All right, let's go ahead and turn them on. Why not? All right, we're pressurized. Okay, so we got the B's on. I'm going to close the ground interconnect. Now I need to test the standby rudder while I've got that system on, right? So we'll go ahead and do the standby rudder on. Standby off. Is that the one, A-Route? I think I was doing this wrong. Yep, the light extinguishes. There we go. Reclose the bar. That's what I was doing wrong, A-Route. I was hitting the wrong switch. All right, good. We'll go ahead and turn off the hydraulic B's. Everything looks good on the fuel panel. And you can actually see did our fuel, I think our fuel moved. Did we load fuel? That all looks good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit the magic barrel ref key and uncage this standby attitude indicator. And what I'm going to do now is we're just going to start the APU, get off ground power, and then we'll get the SIVA aligned and ready to go. There's at least one thing I really want to stress to you about this SIVA compared to the one we had in X-Plane. It's a little bit different. Wow, that fluorescent light is bright. Okay, let's go ahead and fire up the APU. So right now we're on external power. That looks good. To get the APU fired up, this is also different from our previous iterations of the 727. So before, if you tested it, you didn't have to reset the fire test twice. This one you do, or else it will not start. So I'm going to go ahead and run the fire test. All right, now we're going to hit reset once. That cancels the test. And now we need to hit reset again to go ahead and prime the APU for start. If you do not reset twice, the APU will not start. So they do seem to be a bit bright. Is there a fluorescent, that's background circuit breaker? I guess that's just a straight up fluorescent light, right? That's background lighting, table and panel. Let's just turn up, let's turn up these lights. There we go. Get that fluorescent off. All right, and let's go ahead and start the APU. That's off to on and start. And there she goes. Now, another thing to note about the APU here on the 727, it's in the right. I think it's the right main wheel well, or in that location by the right main gear, much closer to the cockpit, so it is louder than your traditional modern day APUs that are in the tail. Okay, yeah, the fluorescent can't be done. That makes sense. I didn't think so. I don't think I've been flying it all week, and I don't think I've turned that switch on. Nothing like doing something for the first time on stream, right? It sits across both wheel wells. Okay. So it's back there. And one thing I learned, even being a 727 fan, is the APU on the 727 cannot be run in flight because when the gear goes up, it can no longer get air. Is that correct, A-Rod? That's one thing that, I love the 727 a ton, and it's my favorite commercial jet, but that's one thing I just never knew. All right, our APU is stable, so let's go ahead and close the generator. We got proper amperes there. That looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and switch aircraft power over to the APU. APU, that all looks good. Let's go ahead and get our packs and bleeds on. This will begin to pressurize. We'll get some air going here. Our cooling doors are already full open. Now these are all press to test as well. So they are functionally press to test, but I'm kind of skipping a lot of the cabin control and all that, but we are pressurizing. The bleed is coming on. Let's go ahead and get our SIVA ready to go. So first thing first, I'm going to put it in the standby position. I'm going to arrow over to our current pause, and this is where we are going to initialize the position. It doesn't know where we are, so we need to initialize the position of the SIVA first. So what we will do is select our waypoint list, which you can't see today, but I will show you all here in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and do our Sangster position. Now, we're not going to be super accurate from our current airport reference point because I don't have a gate coordinate. I just have the airport reference coordinate, which will be close enough what we need for this flight. So we're in the northern hemisphere, so we'll go ahead N for north, 1830.2, and we'll go ahead and hit insert. And now we need to select our west coordinate. You see it says east. There's a west on number 4. Now we're west. Let's go ahead and insert 077548. Insert in position 0. That is our current reference point. I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the align position. And now if you come over to desired track and status, you'll see here we are at 95. In order for us to be fully aligned, we need to be at 0.5. Now this is what happened to me before. We're on battery power. Why are we on battery power only? We're on APU gen. That might be, so we're APU, and our APU has got current amp. We're looking good. So I don't know why that battery light illuminated. Oh, there it goes. Went out. There we go. Maybe it was doing a self-test. But you can see here it's already reducing. Now you can align it at green, but not ready. We want to go all the way down to 0.5. 0.5. Now this is, you guys need to understand this because if you flew the X-Plane SIVA, I don't know which, I think the X-Plane version SIVA was different in that it allowed you to put waypoints in while it was aligning. Do not do that in this one. Align the unit first and then go to oh yeah, it is. External power is still connected. I guess I should have turned that off because we're on APU power. I'll turn it off. Thank you. Then we'll put our waypoints in. And we'll go ahead and pull the GPU too. So it looks like it just aligned. Let's pull our clipboard out. Let's go back to our aircraft, and we can remove ground power. We no longer need it. I'm going to close the doors here when we're done aligning the SIVA using the SIVA because it's a really cool sound. Let's go to waypoint. Okay, so now we are aligned. We are ready nav. We're in the green. So I'm going to go over to a nav, and we need to change from 0 to waypoint 1. You can see now that we are zeroed out. Now I'm going... Oh, geez, alerts muted? Are they muted? What I missed? Ah, AJ's... AJ, my man, they are alerted. They are muted, dude. Sorry, AJ. Thank you, AJ, for the 10 gifted memberships. AJ, I think this just ended my chances of going back to X-Plane, man. I got my 727 now. Yes, there is an external APU sound. Hold on, let me slow the camera down real quick. So we are in the bay where the APU is. Oh, wow. Look, is that the inlet? Oh, no, that's a cooling fan. Look at that. I've actually never been in here. And then the exhaust should come up here. Yeah, oh yeah, it is. Look, look, look. That's the exhaust right there. That's the exhaust, and that comes up out the right wing right here. There it is. And look at the streaks coming off just from the heat. So, absolutely awesome. I haven't been in there. The whole week I've been flying this, I haven't actually taken the camera down into the sea, even after I learned, which makes sense now, because if you think about it, if you bring the gear up, this must be the inlet, right? That must be the intake. And if you bring the gear up, you're probably hosed. So that is really cool. That is really cool. I'm glad we went for that little detour. Reset that camera. Let's get back to our SIVA. Okay, so back to our waypoint aligning. What an awful design choice. Hey, I didn't design it, but man, it's legit. It's awesome. I love it. I love that old school stuff. I used to do CMD checks on the 72100 and 200 American Airlines. Earl, that is awesome, man. Well, thank you for stopping by the stream, man. Hope this gives you, brings you back to the past, huh? All right, let's go ahead and set up our waypoints here. I will do this differently tomorrow with Navigraph so you can actually follow along the waypoints. I'm just using the ones that I've had here for the test flight. So I'm going to go ahead and put in waypoint 1 is going to be where we are right now. I'm going to go ahead and set up Sangster again because I like going from where we are to waypoint 2. So we got to go, again, Northern Hemisphere, 1830. We only have about 6. It won't take too long. 1830.2, insert, Western coordinate. So we hit 4, even though it already dropped to west for us. So we're 077,548. Insert that. Waypoint 2. We're going to insert Northern Hemisphere. Manly, which is the VOR, is going to be 1755.8. Insert, followed by West, 076,467. Make sure as I'm putting these in, chat, this is on you. Make sure as I'm saying the numbers, I'm actually putting in the proper numbers, and stop me if I don't. Waypoint 2 is checked. Waypoint 3, top of climb, I'm not going to take that one off the sim brief. Waypoint 3 is Gnosis intersection, which we actually need it for this one. We're not going to be able to identify this fix without the SIVA. So we'll go Northern Hemisphere here. Gnosis is 1751.0. Insert West 07408.1. Insert. Beautiful. Gnosis is in there. Going to waypoint 4 after Gnosis. We've got Cabo Rojo. It's a small VOR, northern, or whatever, low class VOR, so we'll probably need it for this one too. North 1755.9. Insert, followed by West 07138.9. Insert. Beautiful. Waypoint 5 is going to be Mayaguez, which is right there on the island of San Juan. It's going to be Northern Hemisphere. 1815.4. Insert. West 067.091. I don't feel good. 18154. 067.091. Insert that. Beautiful. And the last one, Waypoint 6, is going to be our airport reference point of San Juan, which is going to be north 1826 decimal 4 insert, followed by west 066001. Looks beautiful. Insert. So we got 6 waypoints. If you're a better pilot than me, you'll go back and verify your coordinates, because if you screw up this, if you put the wrong coordinate in there, you're going to find out en route, and it's not going to be very fun. Now we can go ahead and look at our distance time. That checks 74 miles. And obviously, the time is 999 because we don't have any time, and we're going to talk about how that functions in relation to the airplane when we get flying anyway. Hold on a second. I got something happening. Oh. Never mind. Okay, we're all good. All right. So I can get that off the screen, and we're just about ready to go. I'm going to hit the magic barrel ref key. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hit set our cruise altitude today. We're going up to 31,000 feet. 310 is set, and we are pretty much ready to start. Let's see. Carson had something important that I wanted to mention, or I wanted to read out. He said, if you have coordinates like north 18154 and west, you don't need to type in 0 before the 67. Okay. I wasn't sure, Carson, and I was scared to change it on stream because I've been doing it that way off stream. And like I said, I hate doing something for the first time on stream. You only need to type in the west and the first real number in the coordinate. Okay. So you don't have to. I was saying 0 and hitting 0. You don't have to do that, which saves a keystroke, which will be nice. So very, very cool. All right. That is all done. Magic barrel ref, I already hit that. 310 is set. Let's go ahead and configure the rest of our panel. We're going to close up the doors. I'm going to come down here. Fuel boost pumps are coming on. That all looks good. And I want to come over here and check our loading. How are we looking? Our pre-flight is finished. Okay, pre-flight is finished. Let's go to the takeoff page. Download the latest weather here off of Sangster. We're going to be departing runway 25. No, we're not. We're going to be departing runway 7. Runway 7. Downloaded that, and here's our EPR and V-speed. So I'm going to set EPR and trim. Oh, my yoke just moved. That's so cool. And we'll go ahead and set the V-speeds, 34, 34, 35. That's going to be based off a flaps 15 departure. So our takeoff data has been set. And we'll go ahead and... yeah, takeoff data has been set. I like that, and that leaves us at the flight page. Cool. I'm going to bring this back around. Let's go ahead and close the forward entry. Let's come back here, get our hydraulics on. And watch this, chat. I'm going to go ahead and select close the upper cargo. But we're going to go inside for this. You got to listen to this, chat. You got to listen to this. So I'm going to hack view myself. There's a surprise in the cargo bay we're going to get to in flight. But you got to be here for this. Listen to this if you haven't already. Oh, look at that 7.3 pushing back. I'll double check the fuel. Thanks, guys. I'll double check the fuel. If that doesn't get you, excited to fly this puppy, I don't know what will. I mean, that is just fantastic. That is so cool. That is sound juice. Let's double check the fuel. You guys got me curious now. Pre-flight, let's see. We need 11.6 across the board. 940. Oh, is it still loading? Our cargo. Oh, we never loaded fuel. Fuel is loaded now. Let's double check. Thank you. All right. We got our proper fuel now. Thank you. So that's a good thing to note. I loaded the cargo. We did cargo in real time. I never hit load fuel. So you could real time load both of them. But if you forget like I did, just go ahead and hit that. Now let me make sure our speeds don't change. Yeah, they're actually going to be a little bit different. So we're going to reset our EPR and trim with our fuel now. And our V speed's 40-40. That's got to be a bug. I don't think V2 can be lower than V40. Actually, VR. I know that's got to be a bug there. So V2 is not going to be 139. All right. Now, let's get to the engine start setup here. I'm going to wind the time back to after takeoff because I don't want to fly at night. We got to look at this airplane in the light, but let's go ahead and let the sun at least set. This airplane with the engines mounted on the tail, similar to an MD-80, is going to be very quiet up front. And, oops, those guys stay open. Those guys stay open. Packs off. The thing is, it's annoyingly realistic. So the airplane is quiet up front. Engines are way back on the tail, but it's the right amount of quiet. You know me, I like to have things a little over-exaggerated, but they're still really good. Now, to get the maximum juice for engine start, I highly recommend going window open for engine start. You guys are going to like this. This is absolutely fantastic. So double check our beacon is on, and our fuel pumps are on, and our bleed pressure is good. Let's go ahead and start them up. We'll go 3, 1, 2. We'll get our engine start switches on. We're going to go ahead and ground engine number 3. Here we go. Moving it to the ground position. N2 is on the rise. We're looking for 20%. I'm going to be quiet. %. You can see our low oil light is out. We're actually good to start number 1 now. We'll go ahead and close the guard. How frickin' juice. All right, let's go ahead and ground number 1. 10 for 10 on the start sound, so I agree, man. Especially from up front there. Oh, I think I gotta have to turn down the FSLTL traffic. Let's go ahead and ground 1. And 2's on the rise. Oh, sorry, Crow. All right, shh, I'll be quiet again. All right, turn your volume back down. Whose horse is that? I don't know. Did you guys hear a horse? I don't know. We'll have to check the cargo manifest once we get up to cruise. All right, it's getting loud. Let's go ahead and close the windows, and we'll do the number 3 start. Oh, A-Rot says at 15% the low oil goes out, so you won't be able to use that. Oh, really? Okay, well, see, look, I'm learning things as we go. Let's ground number 2, and let's get this puppy rolling. Carson, you spoiled my surprise. Oh, it's fuel. Zippy, what's up, man? So at 15% N2 and real life goes out, so in the future you won't be able to use it as a good start. All right, well, now I know. Yeah, that would make sense because the low oil light just went out. I just added fuel. So actually, I shouldn't be using that as a good start anyway, I guess. Starter valve open. You can see starter valves are now closed over there. Looking for 50%, basically be stabilized. If you can use an FMS in this plane, you're missing the point next to you. Yeah, well, there is an FMS coming. That's an older version FMS. They're working on some, they're still working on it. Oh, AROT says the oil light is currently tied to the cutoff switch, which is what we just did the fuel on. It's already fixed for the next update. Sweet. So there you go, guys. See, this airplane, like, super fortunate and thankful of FSS for letting me do a pre-release stream here. But remember, this is pre-release. This airplane is rapidly changing. They still got, what, another week or so before this planned release. So, all right, we got 3 good engine starts. Now let me show you something that's really cool. Let me go ahead and get hydraulics A on. So, this is something that I've never done in a sim before. This is really, really cool. So, synchronize, then energize. In order to get to our generator power for the engines, we must make sure they are sending out the same same frequency as what the airplane is needing. So right now, our frequency is just about, what's that, 400 hertz, just a little bit over. If I go to Gen 1, our lights are flashing. That means generator 1 is not in sync with what the airplane needs. So we need to synchronize with the frequency here. Now you can increase or decrease. You can mouse wheel left or right. It's very sensitive. So you want to make sure they're all on the same frequency. So just one click of the mouse wheel, you can see it's getting slower. So I'm going the right direction. One more. We're synchronized on Gen 1. We'll go ahead and close it. Gen 2. Moving the mouse wheel. A little bit more. It's still coming on. As it blinks slower, you're getting closer. If I go... See, look, I went too far. See how they're getting faster? I need to go back. I just use like one click of the mouse wheel scroll to get where I need to be. I went past it the other way now. Okay, there we go. Now we're going the right direction. One more. One more. We're synced. Oh, tripped it. Close 2. Gen 3. Here we go. 2 clicks. They're getting faster. Other direction. Ooh, I think I'm on it. Oh, nailed it. Close it up. Gen 2 is normal. Gen 2, boom, boom. And we'll go Essential TR. Galley power can come on. Let me look over here. Oops. I'm going to look over here. We'll go ahead and get our packs on. We'll get these on. Engine 2 is coming off, or Engine 2 and APU bleed is off. We're on proper generator power. And last thing we need to do is shut down the APU. You can see we've already tripped off. We'll go ahead and turn off the APU. The APU light will go out. So with all that, let's go ahead and select flaps 15. So that's 2, 5, 15. One of my favorite parts of the 727 is the leading edge slats and crew. It's just so cool. Look at that. Look at those big old slats and flaps come out. I love it. Now, this is a cargo plane. You obviously wouldn't have wing views, but I can't fly without hacked wing views. So I hacked myself some wing views here. Beautiful wing textures. And I can't wait for the passenger variant when they have windows, because I think if you put a proper window frame around this, it's going to be super awesome. So there we go with the sun reflecting. Couple 7.3s pushing back. All right, we're all doing good. Power back, I don't know. We might be too heavy. We will try. I tried doing a power back before and we were too heavy. But here we go. This is what I'm going to do, chat. So make sure I didn't screw anything up. Let's do a... Actually, I'll do that after we push back. So let's go ahead and put the crew manager. We'll do the taxi flow. So I will try. Actually, we're not quite done yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. 122.8. 122.8 VHF1. We need a couple backup VORs here. This is something that I should have done. Manly Kingston VOR is 15.5. This is so we have proper DMEs. We'll do 15.5. And then after 15.5 for Manly, we're going to the Cabo Rojo VOR, which is 1143. I'll put that in the standby of 1. 1143. I'll put that over here. 1143. And then I'll also just back up Manly 15.5 so I can have backup DME. So, boom, 15.5. Once we get airborne, we'll be able to pick up that VOR. We'll have a DME. Kruger flaps. That's the word I was looking for. Kruger flaps rather than slats. The Kruger flaps. Yeah, they're actually flaps. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here. And up on top. Let's go transponder on. We'll just go straight to TARA. Cool. Brakes released. Let's see if we can... Oh, we got to release the chocks. Chocks and cones removed. You guys want to hear a reverse sound? We may be too heavy. Let's see. We got a guy on the way, but let's just see. Ah, we're rolling. Look at that. Add a little forward thrust so we don't tip. That's all we need. I don't want to power back right into that guy. Taxi light is on, and I'm going to run the crew manager to run my taxi flow. And he's going to go ahead and click through some stuff. Let's get out of here. I think that guy's going to wait, so let's go ahead and get out of here. Can you boost the outside sound? Vanguard, no, I can't boost it anymore. I wish I could. I wish I could turn it up just a tad, but there's no audio level adjuster that I'm aware of. Yeah, you like the old school beacons? Me too, King Air Pilot. Love the old school beacons. We'll take off with it here in sunset, but once we get airborne, I'm gonna wind the time back because I don't want to fly at night. We gotta enjoy this bird, but you get to see a little bit of it here in the sunset. Ooh, that's a fair point. Maybe in the settings I might be able to. I haven't looked at my Microsoft Flight Sim audio settings since I reinstalled it. Let me try that. I'll pull up hold short here and then I will try that. So I'm going to hold on the before takeoff checklist, but you can see our taxi checklist is now green. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. And A-Rat, if you're still here, man, I feel like such a Dumas. I'm over here flicking the yaw damper switches thinking it's the rudder. Ay, ay, ay. I is a real pilot. Velociraptor, thanks for the 20 months of support, man. You sound like a kid in a candy store. Velociraptor, I know, dude. And I know, Chad, I'm being really bad at reading chat today, but I'm just excited. I'll be better tomorrow, I promise. I wasn't even planning on streaming today, but I'm just too jacked to not. I'm going to look in the Microsoft sound settings here real quick, because I don't know what I have sound. This is a new rig, a new install. Let me see. I think everything is up. Other aircraft, I'll actually turn other aircraft down a little bit. Yeah, aircraft engines, they're all maxed out. So, I wish I could turn up that outside sound. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe like in comparison. I see what you're saying. Is there Fly Live at the top? Oh my gosh, I didn't even know I had that on. Sorry. It's bugged. I gotta fix it. Now, what's interesting, my radio is saying that it's off. VHF comm. Oh! Master switch. No, that's on. They're both on. Why would it say that my... Why would it say that my radio is off? On the, Oh. Thank you, Carson. Proper simulation, chat. So I didn't have any radio on my client.
Traffic net op 1,
oh
my gosh. 1,700 on the Aludo 5, last call, thanks sir.
Dude. Why was that all the way up? All the way down, please. All the way down. All the way down. Sangster traffic, Amerijet 357 going to depart runway 0. What is it? 07 out to the east, Sangster traffic. Yeah, it's on now. It's on now. James Kirk, thanks for the $20 super chat, my man. All right, before takeoff, I'm going to let the flight engineer run the flow. You'll see the lights will come on automatically. He'll set everything for takeoff. It's just super cool. But James Kirk, thank you so much for that $20 super chat, my man. Appreciate you. Y'all, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for Fly Sim Studios. Jeez, I almost said Fly J. I'm the wrong simulator. Smash down the like button for this fantastic 727 that's going to be coming out shortly. You guys are going to be absolutely loving it. I hope you love it as much as I do. All right, before takeoff checklist is complete, I'm going to put crew manager away for now. Yeah, the flight director is working. I'll talk about that here once we get airborne. I've been doing old school, just flying around without the flight director. I'll set up my proper headings, though, in courses. So let's go ahead and set runway heading. It'll be about 070. Course line is going to be, I'm going to set that up here in a minute. We got somebody that just took off, so we'll hold short. I'll show you what I'm going to do here, just so I remind myself. Desired track 1 to 2 is 118. So I'm going to go ahead and set course 118, just so I remind myself where we need to be going. But we're going to fly runway heading out of here. We'll just do a straight out with maybe a right crosswind departure. Runway heading is set. And what you can do is I'm actually going to set this for about 15 degrees. About 17 degrees max on the takeoff on the pitch. So no more than 17 degrees. Are you all ready? Mic's off. My mic is off? What do you mean? It says I'm transmitting. Wait, you can't hear me? Oh. But you can hear me, right? Yeah. It's just a network. You don't need a mic. Come on. No one needs to hear what my radio calls anyway. Let's go. All right, EPR, we're looking for 2.08. Stabilize them at 50. Now listen to the inside sounds. Little forward pressure on the stick. A very realistic inside sound. Now that engine 2 is going to be a slightly different, just nature of the S duct. Power is set. And we're rolling. Airspeed's alive. Now with that forward pressure on the stick, you want to be releasing it and basically coming through rotation speed. One nice smooth movement. Rotate. Up we go. Nice and easy. Don't hit the tail. It's very easy to do. Positive rate. Gear up. Fly with. Going up to 17 degrees. Oh, beautiful. Now, I'm going to set... I know we got a beautiful sunset here. I actually like this sunset. I guess we'll let it go for a little bit longer before I wind it back. Let's go ahead and start our right crosswind departure. We'll make about 118. Through 1,000 feet, we'll lower that nose about 10 degrees. We'll start accelerating and clean up the airplane. Oh, crew manager, after takeoff, please, sir. Get that flight switch. You can see we just picked up our DME. Now, it's important to remember that what you're looking at right here is VOR navigation, not your INS. So I'll talk about that here in a minute. We're still navigating old school. I'm going to set up an intercept heading. Continue to lower the nose. Bring the power back to our climb. EPR now of 182. 178 and 182 in the middle. Fly heading 150 here to intercept. little bit more juice. Start cleaning her up. Sim volume is low. Is that better? Alright, we're cleaning her up now. Looking for 250 knots. Alright, flaps are up, 250 knots. Go ahead and pitch for 250. Oh, that looks awesome. Once you get this airplane, the hand flying is really, really good too. You get her trimmed out, and you're basically hands off. Right about 10 degrees. So a couple things here. I'll go ahead and turn the flight director on heading mode. I'll set pitch reference about 10 degrees. And now let's look at our INS. So we're coming down here. Desired track is 118. Distance is 66 miles. So what I can do is a couple things. Oh, well, I think we went a little bit past it. No, we're looking good. Yeah, we went a little bit past it. So 118 was our real course. You can see it's alive. Actually, we were doing fine at 150. Got ahead of myself. So it's important to note that your HSI is not being driven by the SIVA. These are independent of each other. So I'm 63 miles, and my desired track is 118. Now, the autopilot will fly the SIVA, but you have to remember it's independent of this HSI. So I'm just backing it up here with radio navigation. But if you weren't tracking anything here, then you would this would just be flagged out. I'm going to come back to that 150 heading. That was a pretty good intercept anyway. Then once I get the autopilot engaged, I will show you. It's important you understand how you get your autopilot to follow your SIVA, because you've got to use the aux nav. But look at that. We're trimmed out 10 and 250, and I'm hands off. Now, I am using force feedback yoke. I absolutely love it. It makes every airplane fly really amazingly. But even from the other beta testers that were in the Discord of FSS, they say it just hand flies amazingly as well. And I totally agree. It flies beautifully. I love the way it hand flies. All right, so we just hit 10,000 feet. You could see we actually just set the climb out speed now, 300. Our EPers are basically set to our accelerated climb out speed, 188 and 191 in the middle. I'm going to turn the sim down a little bit. Was that too? I mean, that's loud for me, so I got to turn it down. We'll set up power here. What's cool though, in that middle, if you look at your pressure ratio here, number 2, that's not a bug. That one is actually slightly different than 1 and 2 because the nature of the S-duct and that engine being on the tail, you're going to get a slightly different readout for that engine. I'm going to go ahead and set power. Now what's also really cool is when I watch videos of real pilots setting their EPR, I mean, it's that flight engineer comes in there and he just real fine just to set it. All right, there is our intercept. I'll go VLOC here. Almost at 300. I'm also going to run the... I don't need the auto throttle bug yet. Let me get it up here. And I'll sync up my heading bug and we'll go to our basic SIVA nav. And I'm going to go ahead and go autopilot on. We're going to do before I get all the way up there. So we need to engage. I'm going to keep it in turn mode. That's heading select. I'm going to arm the altitude. And right now I want IAS hold before we slow down. I'm going to run this speed bug down. Oops, not that one. We're going to run this speed bug down. Right about... Oh. Right about there. We'll do an IAS hold all the way up. I want you back in heading mode here until we're tracked. And we're tracking now. So right now I'm going to do localizer nav. So we're going to track the VOR on this one. Then I'm going to switch to the INS. I'm going to turn this down a little bit more. All right, let's double check as we climb through. All our lights are off. That looks good. We're 55 miles for our DME. We're 47 miles from our SIVA. There's probably a slight difference for slant range air. We're actually, let's see, 51 miles. So 5 miles off. Counting for slant range air, that's close enough. All right, so now that we're tracking to the VOR, you want the fluorescent light on? Oh no, I was gonna turn. Hold on, I'll show you the fluorescent light, and then I'm gonna turn the sun on. There's your fluorescent light. I love the night lighting. Oh, let me go ahead and go back to full screen cam too, so you can get rid of seeing my elbow cam. Fluorescent light looks beautiful, but I want to. There's our alert through 17.5, so I'm going to hit the magic barrel ref key. Now we're 290902 is set, 290902 is set. I'm going to wind the sim time back a little bit so we can see this airplane in all its glory for now. Maybe we'll do a sunset landing, but this is East Coast time, so let's run it back to like 6:30, so we should be landing around that same time. But just so we can see the airplane, like I said, in all its glory. No sense in flying it around at nighttime. All right. What I was going to tell y'all about the autopilot here. I want this bug down here. There we go. 270. It's a little bit slow for a climb. Why do you keep moving? Oh, because the crew keeps setting my bug. That's funny. So the crew is setting my bug because I have the speed bug set. So he keeps putting it to our climb speed. Right now we're climbing out a little bit slower at 270 knots, but that's fine. We're doing E-jet climb out speeds today. So, 43 miles. We are on VOR navigation right now. We are tracking a VOR, even though our SIVA is online and giving us distance and time. Desired track is 118. That was from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2. And the distance is 35 miles. What's that, 3 minutes? 3 minutes or so until reaching the actual waypoint. But the autopilot is not following the SIVA. So what we need to do is set the autopilot to follow aux navigation. So right now we're in IIS hold. We're holding the airspeed and the climb out. We have altitude armed. Heading select light is out because we're not flying a heading. We're following nav or loc. What we need to do is select nav aux. So now with aux nav armed, it's going to try to capture the direct line that we had, isn't it? From 1 to 2. I think it is. It's going to try to capture the original line. So let's give ourselves a direct 2. Let's go waypoint change 0 2 insert. And now look at that. Now we're going to come back. So what the airplane was trying to do, it was trying to get back to the course from 1 to 2 that we programmed. Remember, we programmed our field position to this VOR. We didn't fly that under SIVA. So what I should have done is actually set up a direct 2 prior to engaging the SIVA to avoid that S-turn. But right now, the aircraft is navving in aux nav via the SIVA. And this is really kind of a moot point. Now, you can back yourself up. So I'm going to set, since we are tracking a VOR right now, I'm going to just keep that there so I know what I'm doing. I'm actually tracking, you know, to a VOR. Say my SIVA fails or something and becomes an issue. It's always good to back things up. Don't just waste instruments. But you have to understand that you are now following the SIVA and not your HSI. I'm also going to bring this down to right there, and I don't believe you use VOR loc either, do you? We'll keep that off because we're not tracking a VOR or localizer. So we are straight navving in aux nav, and that's it. That's pretty simple. Now, one other thing. If you want this in auto to auto change waypoints, make sure you have it in auto. If you have it on manual, it won't change waypoints. So I think on the early build that I had, this was defaulted to manual. Now it's defaulted to auto, which is, I think, better, because I forgot a couple times. But yeah, you shouldn't have to move this switch. But if it, for some reason, if it's in manual, make sure you put it in auto mode so it will change for you. Now I'm curious. This is actually a knowledge question. If I'm in a direct to waypoint 02, will it automatically sequence 2 to 3, or am I going to have to resequence it? If that makes sense. Because that's an actual question. If I'm direct to 02, I think it will auto sequence 2 to 3. But now we'll keep an eye on it. So we're 25.9. Our power is dropping off as we climb. We'll go ahead and bump it up a little bit. Watch our temps. Let's bump it up a little bit. Let's keep it in the green there. We're pretty much at the limit. That looks good. And let's come back, do a pressurization check. I guess he's got hydraulic system B pump 1 off. Cabin is pressurizing, that's good. You can see this switch is in flight mode, which is good. And we're climbing on out. Yes, it will automatically sequence them if your sequencing knob is in auto, otherwise you'll start flying in a circle. Yes, I can confirm circle flying via the SIVA INS is modeled. You will fly a circle. I can confirm that. VPilot, how's the plane so far? Absolutely love it, man. I believe you can still set your red speed bug if you want to give your fast slow indicator the altitude on the attitude and working too. Oh yeah, we're fast slow. Let me wind it back. I don't see it moving. I think maybe I should turn speed bug off because flight engineer keeps moving it. Let's turn airspeed bug off. Will he still set EPR? Okay, EPR bugs will still be set. Let's turn the airspeed bug off. Oh look, we just hit our waypoint, SIVA waypoint. We did change 2 to 3, and we're navving. Look at that. We're navving. Crow, thank you for the 39 months of support, man. Quick and dirty hold in? Yeah, diabetic lad. Exactly. Got made redundant at the start of the month. Way I see it, this is a universe telling me to go ahead and get out my APU and go apply to train for my MPL. Crow, thank you for the 39 months of support first and foremost, man. That's very kind of you. Appreciate the support. I think it is too, man. I think you need to, unfortunately, sorry to hear that you got made redundant at the start of the month, but look at it as a positive thing, right? I think you should go start training for your MPL as well, man. Thanks again for the support, Crow. All right, so you could get confused. Why is my HSI not showing me anything? Because it's an independent system. So I can actually see the outbound course here on the VOR while we got it, 099. Now what I want to check is, let's see, we already pre-tuned. We pre-tuned the next VOR at 14.3. Let's see if we get DME2 yet. Nope, DME2 is not picked up yet, so we're going to stay on our current VOR 1 and DME 1 because if something were to fail, we want to be backed up and ready to go. But right now, we're SIVA outbound, desired track, 091. Distance is 144 miles. It's flying 091. Looking good. 1,000 to level off. We're 1,000 feet out, and then we'll accelerate, and then I'll show you all the auto throttle. Oh my goodness. Team Vodka just dropped a massive 50 gifted membership to the channel. Oh my goodness. Team Vodka, I'm going to pause the alert box here before you crash the stream. RIP alerts. Yep, alerts are going off, AJ, so if you want to super chat, now would be a good time because the alert will be off. I'm just kidding. Team Vodka, thank you so much, man, for the support. A massive 50 membership bomb. That's huge to the channel. V1 Nation, best nation. I'm biased, obviously. This is my channel, but you guys make it the best nation on YouTube. I really appreciate all the love and support. And Team Vodka, thanks for helping me with the traffic stuff, too. And Canadian dropping another 50 gifted memberships. Oh, my goodness. You were insane, Canadian. Wow, okay. The stream might actually crash. I gotta pause all the alerts on OBS. Canadian, thank you so much. I don't know what just happened, but we just got 150 new memberships just like that. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for the support. Dom Pellegrino dropped 50 on top of that as well. Our 727 is the catalyst for donations. Carson, it absolutely is. Y'all, if you pick up a gifted membership, we have more memberships gifted than we have viewers pretty much. So I appreciate you all. Thank you, Team Vodka, Canadian, and Dom Pellegrino again for another massive donation to the channel. You guys are so awesome. Thank you for the support. I can't stress that enough, how appreciative I am of that. All right, I'll have to get back to those membership milestone chats because they basically just shot to the top of my chat box there. But let me go ahead and engage the auto throttle. So the only auto throttle bug is the orange bug here, and it only should be used in cruise. So we are in cruise flight. We're pretty stable. Now, it's kind of a rough engagement because I think it like resets the hardware position. Engage, don't freak out. Auto throttle's coming on. It like has to start at idle or something, brings it right back up, but not a problem. Auto throttle is engaged now, and this is your only auto throttle bug, is the red speed bug here. So it will maintain or try to maintain. We're going to look for about 8.0 Mach on this one, and we're pretty much stabilized and good to go. So let's go outside. Actually, let's go back to a... not time for that yet. Let's go back to a trailing edge view here for a little bit, and then we'll do some outside view juice and check out the outside. But let me get back to those membership milestone chats because you guys were awesome. And I just want to realize I've had my chat in top chat only, not live chat, so I probably missed a ton of messages. I apologize, guys. I had my chat box being filtered, so I apologize for that if you're here asking me questions and I couldn't answer or never saw it. Santiago Montoya had a 26-month membership milestone chat. Appreciate it. Holy crap, I have been here for more than 2 years. More than 2 years, Santiago. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it, my man? I appreciate you. Very, very kind for the support. And there was another one there. I don't know who it was. The message got blasted off the screen because of all the membership gifts. So somebody said something about, I love the 727, but I'll stick with my Airbus systems. Whoever that was, I appreciate your support. And you may stick with your Airbus systems, but we're going to be flying this airplane pretty much extensively for the next 3 or 4 years. So I don't even know what's happening. I don't even want a membership. Means my color sticks out for V1, Carson. Guys, can we also just get a shout out to Carson for the work they're doing? Carson, Barton, Flyby Tim, or A-Rod in the chat. Just, you guys are, and all the other devs at FSS. Y'all are, I'm fully on board. I know there's been a lot of talk about FSS and you know, some of the E-Jet stuff. You guys are like, well, I want VNAV. And I mean, I'm happy with all my FSS product purchases. I mean, I didn't purchase this one, but I did buy the E-Jets. I bought the 170, the 190. I've had fun with them. I enjoy them. And this airplane, I enjoy even more because it's a 727. So let's be realistic. But you guys are awesome. FSS team, you guys are doing a fantastic job. And I can't wait to see what else is in store as the airplane matures in the sim environment. And Dom Pellegrino dropped another one. Dom, my man. Yay. Uh-oh. Did Carson pick a membership up? Now he's going to be camouflaged in green. We're going to have to add some new emojis. I think we just eclipsed the next emoji situation. Dom, I can't thank you enough, man. And if you pick a membership from Don too, make sure you thank him for his service. Military aviator, Osprey, flying the V-22. Absolutely sweet, man. Oh, Carson is still free. Carson, I'll tell you what, you sure do stick out not being green. Is there such thing as a belligerent generosity? Check your DMs. There is one. Zippy, I just checked on my phone. I'm going to see if I can load it in. My man. I just want to make sure we pick up DME2 here. So we're still 98 miles out. We're looking good. because once we lose VOR 1, it's going to be a little bit scary because we're going to be navving solely on SIVA. We're going out to that intersection that I said we're only going to be able to identify via our SIVA. Now, this is good practice for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be flying in the mountains of Colombia. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I hope you tune in for that one. I'll be a little bit more prepared for that one. I'm going to have some charts up that you can actually watch and follow along. I'm going to show you the coordinate formats. Not every format is correct for plugging it into the SIVA. You have to have the proper format, decimal seconds, minute decimal seconds, can't remember what it's called, but I'll show you what it looks like. That way, all you really need to know about formatting is SimBrief will give you the proper coordinates. So make sure you use the coordinates off SimBrief. By default, it will give you the proper format for loading in the INS. I'll have that up. I'll have some additional charts that we can go through. And we're going to be a little bit more manual in our operation of the aircraft. I just kind of wanted, I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, this is what I've been using. Taxi before takeoff and after takeoff. Just so I don't miss things. And here's the real deal. I can actually put this in altitude hold mode. Taxi before takeoff and after takeoff, chat, from a real world pilot perspective, the pilot flying is not reading checklists while he's taxiing out. So in our case here in the US, the captain is always the pilot flying on the ground. So when I'm taxiing out, I'm not sitting there reading checklists. The first officer is doing flows, doing checklists, and reading them out loud, and I'm verifying the switches are in the right position. So having that crew assist is actually a big deal, especially in these high workload airplanes such as the 727, and especially if you're going to take it into a high workload environment. Let's go ahead and do a full cockpit shot actually here. We'll do a cockpit tour and cabin tour. That's coming up next, but let's go ahead and feast your eyes. Do we have sunshades? I guess we don't have sunshades. We're all going to get skin cancer in here. But, again, Dom, I really want to appreciate you. Really appreciate the support. Aaron, there's something very claustrophobic about the old INS systems to me. I'm definitely a child of the Magenta. Really? Aaron, hey, Aaron, the Irish lad himself, has blessed us with his presence tonight. Aaron, after tomorrow, man, and after a few more streams, I'm going to break it down, and I'm actually going to have a video. So here's the unfortunate thing, y'all, is the pre-release streamer window is right now, basically from now until the 5th or 6th. I am going to be in recurrent training away from my sim for the next 5 days. I'll be here tomorrow. We're going to stream tomorrow, but then I'm going to be gone for 4 days straight. So I'm going to miss the majority of the, or actually pretty much all of the pre-release window. But I'm scrambling together some videos, just some basic ones that I think are really going to help you with the 727. And then I would like to do one like full flight, pre-recorded, obviously sped up in cruise and all that, but just so you can get a real good handle on what you need to be doing for this airplane once you get it, so you have a full understanding. Because if you don't understand what's going on, it becomes overwhelming, because then you start to go down the mentality of, oh, it must be a bug. A lot of things on the 727, the way they're implemented, they may come across as bugs, but they're actually features. And a lot of that is simulated and modeled through FSS. So you got to be like, oh, it's bugged out. Like I've been over here complaining about my rudder limit light, and it turns out I've been flipping the wrong switches. But I knew it was a skill issue, because the crew manager, flight engineer, did it properly. But I was flipping the wrong switch to reset the rudder, do the rudder test. So anyway, all right. Vladimir wants the horses. So let's go ahead and do a cabin tour chat. I still wonder why this is off here. Actually, before we get into the cabin, let's look at the cockpit tour. So these charts are actually out of the manual. So if you want to verify at 0C, pressure altitude of 2,000 feet, takeoff 2.0 on the EPR. This is basically add 0.01 EPR for 6,000 to 7,000 feet, or 0.02 for 8 to 10,000 feet. Here's your EPR bleed corrections, air conditioning off. So these are straight out of the manual. If you want charts, we did not turn B pump off at any time. All right, Anthony, I believe you. B pump is coming back on. So our flight engineer is A-Rot's doing bad things back there. So A-Rot's our flight engineer for this flight, and he's screwing things up. N1 versus EPR charts. These are all actual charts and they're readable. I don't know if you can read them through the stream, but it's very easy to read for me. I don't know how the compression is through YouTube. It should be pretty decent on 2K, but I can read these no problem. So if you want to look at max continuous EPRs and all that, if you don't want to run the auto throttle, but these are your charts that you would need. Flaps 15, noise abatement departure, flaps close in, noise abatement, wind component, TAT and ISA, stab trim settings. It's all here. Calculator does not work. You can't make it work. But, I mean, I feel like you should put something in the scratch pad because it's just an opportunity. It does not work. The calculator does not work, and no, they will not make it work. It's already been talked about. Doesn't work yet. Now, that would be pretty cool if it did work, honestly. But I feel like even if it doesn't work, you got to put, like, FSS or Boeing or 800-82322. Any of the 90s kids probably know what I'm talking about. I don't think those are the right numbers, but you probably get what I'm saying. The Canadian has dropped a 50... a 50... Super chat. I was going to say another part of my pro flight budget here. Oh my goodness. Always a blast seeing you happy about a plane drop. By the way, I'm in love with, and there it goes. I'm in love with my pro flights, even in the PA-31. Hey, Canadian, you need to save that. There you go. You guys got the numbers. You need to save that for your pro flights, man. But I am very, very thankful for your generous support here on the channel, Canadian. Look, I don't know to respond to when you post those pictures and videos, but man, I watch them all, and I love every single one of them, man. It brings me back. I mean, that's where I cut my teeth flying those chieftains around. I can't wait to see you continue on in your career up there in the Great White North. Thanks again for the support and a massive $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Canadian. All right, you can see here we've got some custom T-shirts. I need to customize these for the V1 shirts for the Expo. Oh, it's a secret. Beautiful cockpit, though. We already looked at the APU. Let's go ahead and step out. We do have a nice vest here. Is that clickable? Okay. Why is it? What's the click spot here? I feel like I'm going to do something bad. Oh, the armrest works. Look at that. You got a movable armrest on the, and it even has a proper logo. Wow. That's pretty cool. No working calculator equals not study level. You know what, compressor stall? There's going to be people saying that, which is absolutely wild. All right, into the main door here, and I should have operated the cargo door here. So this is actually a fully functional... Oh, shit. Everything okay? Hold on. Pressurization check. Why is our cabin descending? Hold on. Turn the power off. We've fixed it. Okay. Close, floodlights off, control. Oh no, I tried to open it. Better mask up. Oh no. It's a fully functional. It's fully functional. I need it closed. It's closed, right? Check the latches. We're going to go check the latches. It's a fully functional cargo door, so you can operate it from here. Don't do it in flight. We need to go check. So here's the access hatch. Let's come down here. And here we are, into the cargo bay. There's our smoke detectors. You guys saw the door latch, which is really cool. Now, we are latched with the J-hooks, right? These are the J-hooks. Now, this is actually... This system was highly... I think it's... Is it still used or is it advanced? Now, I remember all the cargo doors were blowing out on the DC-10 and on the 7.4. It had to do with the J-locks. Like, they could show closed... Especially, I think it was especially with the DC-10. They could show closed even though they weren't locked and they were blowing open in flight. I don't know. I would imagine it was the same system at least at one point in time because it's a Boeing. It's pretty much a copy and paste. Okay, Carson says the door is indeed closed. Light bleed is known and being worked on. Okay, good. Thank you, Carson. So a little bit of light bleed through the door there. That was what was scaring me. But Carson says it is indeed closed. And hopefully we have some oxygen masks for the horses, which we're going to show you right now. So here is your cargo compartment. Gotta love it. It looks like we have proper labels for today. Tomorrow's flight will be all unmarked boxes. Transport extra strong. Very cool. We got our cargo nets in here. Max load, 800 pounds. Beautiful cabin here. Some type of fuel tank here. Natural gas. Hey, XP72 in the house. XP. Thank you so much, man, for the support. 53 months as a member here on the channel. Gonna need help to fly this classic beauty. XP, have no worries, my friend. I'm going to get a basically an intro tutorial setup. By the time this puppy releases, you're going to be flying it like it's a 737, man, since I know you like 737 more than Airbus. But hey, you're just in time. What type of gas you think this is, XP? You think this is natural gas? Oil? Probably not oil. I don't know. Seems suspect. Anyway, always good to see you, man. All right. Look at, I mean, this is very nicely detailed, very crisp, very clean cabin, all the way to the back. And what do we have here? We have horses. Hopefully they're not pooping. No horse poop. Uninstalling. There's not enough poop in this horse tray. So, unfortunately, it would be really cool if you could link the horses to a livery like Kalita Charters 2. Well, actually, Amerijet takes horses too. But Kalita Charters 2 basically was one of like the major horse carriers for the, what's the Derby in Kentucky? Oh my gosh. Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Derby, right? Yeah, the Kentucky Derby. I would see that Kalita Charters 2 727 on the ramp there in Louisville quite frequently, and they were like big time horse transport operators, but very cool. Horse Force 1. Hey, Crow. Hey, this is a good question. Here we go. So, if we take off at 150,000 pounds and the horses poop 10,000 pounds while we're in cruise, does our gross weight go up or down, Crow? The way y'all say Louisville. Louisville. It's Louisville. No, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. But I'm actually curious, though. What about if it's 10,000 pounds of horse poop in flight? Does our weight change? If you don't know what I'm talking about, we had a discussion for weeks about the birds in the truck. It definitely smells back here. So one thing that's interesting here, it looks like this is stopped, so they have the proper ULD. What's back here? Does this open? Can I click this safely? Carson, can I click this safely? I've never done this before on stream. I've never done it before, so I don't want to do it for the first time on stream. Thrust set since it stays the same. I'm going to say it stays the same. The poop just changed locations. Okay, good. I'm getting hypoxic, AJ. I'm getting hypoxic, dude. No, it's pressurized. No more clicking. No. I get a big no. That's a pressure door. Okay. So don't open this one. Okay. We're not going to open it, but we're going to move the camera through. Oh, yeah. That doesn't... Well, oh, is that the pressure bulkhead? This must be the pressure bulkhead. Okay, don't open this door. But you can see there's the actual DB Cooper stairs. Now I can't get my camera through there, but there's the DB Cooper stairs going out the back. Open it. Open the air stair. No, that's a pressure bulkhead. We're not going to open that door. Black handle on your left. No, we're not going to open the air stair. No, we're not going to open the air stairs either. No more clicking. There's a click spot somewhere. It wants to click. I'm not going to do it. But DB Cooper stairs are there and implemented. So there is your walkthrough. I feel like this airplane's been turning on me here. My yoke is moving, so that means the airplane's turning. I just want to make sure we're not flying in circles. But, again, really nice. I can't tell you, anybody who's flown freight, whether you've flown small freight, Canadians probably seen it, or you fly MD-11 747 freight, this, what is it, speed 557 tape? I don't know. This stuff is everywhere in cargo. Everywhere. I'm pretty sure my Beach 99 was held together by that tape. So really nice attention to detail. And I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just, I love that. I mean, they could have easily just put a mid cabin back here, but this is highly textured. It's very crisp, a very, very nicely done cabin, especially for a freighter version. I feel like, you know, you could, the temptation would be real to just have kind of a mid cabin, cargo cabin. But look at this. Look at the detail on the rivets here. Look at that. So we'll put the access hatch back on. There's no sound file for that, uninstalling. But there you go. And again, you have your fully loaded cargo door. Maybe we'll do this after landing. We'll open it from here. So there is your cabin tour. Back into the flight deck we go. Again, your master switches over here if you need those radio master switches. Circuit breakers up here. There are no circuit breakers modeled as of right now. I don't know if that's in the future or not. But, ooh, what is this little click spot? Oh, I thought there was a click spot here. Another light, emergency rope. And there we go. Let's go ahead and see where we are because I'm a little bit nervous now. So we got DME2, 120... Let's see, we're 110 miles from waypoint 3 to 4. And we're 126 from our DME2, which is 14.3. So let's switch nav1 over. So now we're picking up our nav1 radio. I'm going to recenter my HSI to back me up. 125 miles. That looks good. Slant range. I wonder why there's such a discrepancy in distance, though. That says 107. That's 25 miles. That's 123. I wonder what's going on with that. Hopefully, we'll see as we get... Oh, we just turned. We just turned? Oh, what's our desired track status? Hold on. Desired track is 088. We're doing about 095. Where's our compass? Are we not slaved? We should be slaved, right? Yeah, we're doing 097. 097. Good time to show descent calculator. Yes, that's coming up next. See, our auto throttle is doing a wonderful thing here. Beautiful. Let me see what the next wave VOR is, just so I have it tuned in. Our next one is going to be Mayagez, or MAZ 110.6, which is basically going to be leading us in to San Juan. So I will put 110.6 here in DME 2, and I'm going to put it active, so once we start picking it up, we'll know that we're getting much closer. So we're navving. Things are looking good. Amerijet Cargo is on the move. Look at that. I love the textures on those engines on the backside there. Looks really good. I know there was some questions in the Discord about, you know, oh, what are the textures? Do they look good? No, it looks sharp. Again, hacked wing views. My hacked wing views look phenomenal. I like the good amount of grime on there. You get a nice passenger window in there, it's going to be even extra juice. Why do I see contrails off my left? Is that traffic? Is there someone actually over there? I might actually have traffic off our left. All right. Mayagez, the motherland. Catco, good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. Here we go. So, back to our clipboard. So we've done our pre-flight takeoff. Here is our flight check. Descent calculation. Y'all have been asking about VNAV and the E-jets. I have not shown the fuel log. Not shown the fuel log. You mean flight log? Fuel log. So right now, we're balanced. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, all pumps are on. We're balanced right now. Everything is looking good. So right here, time since takeoff. So let's look at this. Fuel level, time since takeoff, 20 and 40 minutes. Left tank, center tank, right tank, total burned. 1270, 1270. So it didn't have that far to balance, it looks like, right? It looks like they were pretty much what's that, 2,000? Actually, center was 1404 at 20 minutes after takeoff, 24. Yeah, it's doing a good job at balancing. We burned 1,200 pounds at the 40-minute mark. Yeah, good balance, good balance. It looks better than the MD-11 Sherwin, Scott. I agree with you, man. That was my first. I'm like, man, this has got more. It's just got more to it. It feels like it's just a native. It's a native airplane to Microsoft Flight Sim. You can tell when an airplane has been ported from FSX or P3D. You can tell. This one, you can tell that it's native. It's so good. The texturing is great. I love this cockpit. It's got more soul. It's got more coziness to it than even the MD-11, and I really try to love the MD-11 because I like that wide body trijet too, but this is the juice. The juice is loose here, as Zippia would say. All right. Care to show what? Show what? Descent. Here we go. So 31,000 feet, and our target altitude is, let's just say 10,000, because I always say you want to be 10 and 250 out, right? And if I start now, I've actually haven't used this. Is it actually going to start the descent for me? It wouldn't start the descent for me, right? This will show you your required vertical speed. It is starting down. It's set 10,000 feet. Okay. We're starting down. You have a pseudo VNAV. So I've talked about this on the channel before, and I've showed you how to calculate it. This is pretty much doing the mental math that I do for you, our 3-to-1 rule. I could stop the descent, but 64 miles. I'll tell you what. We'll stop it. Let's stop it at 30,000 here. I'm gonna try something. Which, if you're an FSF dev, you should hold your breath. Whenever I say I'm going to try something. Oh, I went past that. So let's set 290. I'm going to try something. We're going to set 29,000 feet. We'll come back down here. We'll arm the altitude, right? Altitude armed. So she should level at 29. There you go. The foot air. Foot air is on. Oh, dude. I wish I had foot air in the friggin' Airbus, man. All right, 29,000. Alt is green. We are engaging and we're leveling. Beautiful. Okay, so this is going to be huge for those of you that are really want a VNAV calculator. And I'm not going to lie, having this in a, like I said, in a high workload environment, having this calculator is really going to help a lot of you all out. So let's look at San Juan here. Your FO has foot air too. No. FO doesn't have feet. Oh, Navigraph. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, I'm going to show you right now. So Navigraph integration here. Beautiful. Airport info. This is the 10.9 page. We're going to land on runway 10. That's the plan. So let me pull up another chart. Let's go TJSJ. And let's load in. I actually like this tab feature so I can flip back and forth. This reminds me of whatever that app was in X-Plane. You know, that whatever it was called. But being able to tab back and forth, I like that a lot. We're going to do the ILS runway 10. So we'll load that up. Hopefully we're not going to do an arc or anything like that. But if we look here at the start of... Let me go full screen and zoom it in. So Remzi 15,000 is basically as far out. That's 1,500. And 1 minute down from... over the hold. We don't want to do the hold. Procedure turn at 2200 at 12 DME. I tell you what, let's just calculate it off 1500 feet at the final approach fix. I don't like doing that. Let's do 3000. So we're gonna get back to that. I want to show y'all something here. Oops. Let's go back to our flight, and we're current altitude and the target. I want to do. Let's make it easy math. Let's set 3000. We'll enter that. So required distance. I wanted the required distance from our current altitude at 1,600 feet per minute, which is an average comfortable descent rate. We need 81 miles. So what we can do, we're going 3 to 4. Waypoint 6 was our last waypoint, wasn't it? But we're only 50 miles out. Let me look at my nav log real quick. Again, I'm going to have these charts tomorrow. I didn't have my Navigraph app installed yet. Again, I'm working on a new install of Microsoft Flight Sim here. So, well, tomorrow I'll have that so I can show you guys what I'm looking at here. But I'm looking at SkyVector. So that was waypoint 2, 3, 4, and we're going waypoint 3 to 4. So waypoint 4 to 5 is 258 miles. So we got some time once we pass this waypoint. So I was just trying to make sure we had enough distance between the next two SIVA waypoints. So let's do a quick mental math on this same calculation. If you want to know how to do this mentally without having a calculator here, which this is an awesome, it's the same thing I'm going to do for you. So we would take our current altitude of 29,000 feet. We would subtract it from our descent altitude that we want to go to, which is 3,000. Gives you 26,000. I'm going to just take 26, drop the zeros, multiply that by 3. That would be 78 miles on a 3-degree path. And then I always liked, I said, I don't like odd or even numbers like that too off. I like whole 30s, 25s. I like to go in increments of 5. Easy math. I'm a pilot. I'm dumb. So calculated 3-degree path is 78. In my mental math, I would just round that to 80. Okay, so 80 miles on my mental math on a 3-degree path is pretty darn close, 81.8. Now, you could change the vertical speed, I'd imagine. Can you change it? Oh, no, I guess it keeps it at 1,600. But if you wanted to go down at, a faster rate, you're going to need a little less mileage. But this just gives you your current, what you need to do out of the gate, which I really like. So, pretty neat. Pretty neat stuff. And you can see that mental math is pretty accurate, right? I mean, my mental math gives me 80. This one gives me 81.8. And when you're in that descent rate, 15, 16, 1,700 feet per minute, that's the sweet spot. Even up to 1,800 feet a minute is pretty good. So we know we need 81 miles. Let's give ourselves an additional 10 miles from the airport reference point, right? So let's call it 91 miles out is when we will actually start down. That way we can get down and slow down, gives us some time to do all that. Our landing, we'll set this up, because this is live, but we'll set this up on our descent. So again, let me close that. We'll have the same thing. We'll have a proper gross weight. If you don't land the 727 at flaps 40, do you even really land the 727? No. Flaps 40 or bust. Now actually in later variants they had lockouts for flaps 40, and I believe I saw a model. I think that was you, A-Rod, somebody, or maybe it was in the FSS Discord, where I saw a picture of, the flap 40 lockout, so you don't stall the thing. But before that was invented, you land flaps 40. If you don't land the 727 at flaps 40, you might as well fly a 787 and just be totally mid. So, 787 is kind of cool. Might as well fly a 320, be mid, land flaps 40. It's cooler. It looks sweet. It's very challenging. And you'll see why the 7.2, as we go outside, we'll enjoy some outside view here. Turn the sim down some more. Now, I wonder the oscillating, I think it's my yoke is getting a little bit of turbulence. That's interesting. But you'll see, so the 7.2, there will be a 40 block in the future. I hope it's an option. If it's not an option, A-Rod, I'm not installing that update. The 7.2 really came into play because it wanted to not replace, but the 707 needed a lot more runway. It didn't have the short field characteristics, short field landing performance characteristics that would have been helpful in the expanding of commercial aviation in the jet age, in the early jet age. So the 727, getting the engines up off underneath the wing, getting it clear FOD, and having flaps 40 and Kruger flaps, this airplane can really get down and stop if need be, and it actually can get airborne relatively good as well as far talking about takeoff performance. Even when you load it all the way down and you max out the EPR, it's still a pretty powerful airplane, and it really can get into those shorter fields than the 7.0. No TCAS on this. Look for traffic. Yes, so there is no TCAS. You guys have probably seen there are some versions of TCAS that have like that VSI with instantaneous VSI and TCAS installed. That's totally lame. Look outside for traffic. We're flying through a contrail right now. How cool is that? We literally just flew through somebody's contrail. I didn't even know that was a thing. We just flew through a contrail. Yeah, this bird's capable of Mach 1 a straight level flight. And that's you know, that's what's so cool. You know, the Learjet, I think, is gets me thinking and gets me excited in the same way, because you have an airplane that can go Mach 1 or near Mach 1 in straight and level flight, and yet you can slow it down and land it in these shorter strips than one may think, you know. So and now it's not going to get into, you know, with turboprops and super short field and all that, but I mean, it is no slouch when it comes to short field performance, especially when compared to the 707. So you can imagine the wing transformation. Okay, here we go. We're crossing over a waypoint. We're now going waypoint 4 to 5. Desired track is 085, right? I guess I don't have to move this, right? So the way that the INS drives it in this model is through the heading bug. So you'll see your heading bug do that like jump thing. That's because it's doing the INS nav. I think that's how they're navving it through the INS. But we are now outbound, and we're going waypoint 4 to 5. Distance 249, so that checks with what I checked on my actual charts. I wonder if this should be in... For aux nav, does this need to be in anything, or just a heading is fine? Because instinctively, I want to say it needs to be on VLOC, but I don't think it would, because VLOC is not... I don't know. Your flight director is independent of your autopilot. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Well, that would make sense. So that's what I've been saying. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep it in heading mode. Turn it off. Yeah, that makes sense. I should have just said that. Yeah. So in aux nav, like I said at the beginning, you don't have... It's an independent system. So this is just the VOR that I have tuned in. Speaking of, we just crossed over the waypoint 4 to 5, which was Cabo Rojo 1143. We're now outbound. The next waypoint is Maz, which is 1106. And we have that up. We're not picking it up yet. Once we pick it up in raw data, we might just go raw data in, since we're going to be raw data into San Juan. Let me double check my yeah, waypoint 6 would be my direct to. So TJSJ, from there it's 66 miles from Maz, so we said 100 miles at least, so 44 miles. 44 miles from waypoint 5 is when we want to really start thinking about coming down. So about 180-ish miles until top of descent for us. And that makes sense. We're only at 29,000 feet. We're not super high yet. So looking good. Let's enjoy that sunset there. Hopefully she'll be great, and the FSS team will be able to make the Dash 100 version as well. Ooh, I actually don't know if that's in the plan or not. Back in the early years of the 727, it wasn't uncommon for pilots to get in trouble. The airplane's capable of things outside their flight experience. James, yes. Well, anybody I talk to that flew the 727, I always ask them for the stories. I'm going to see... No, that looks good. That is an airplane's contrail. When I zoom in, I lose it. So I'm using FSLTL traffic. I see his beacon now. This is my first time ever using FSLTL traffic. I used to just use AIG. But since I did a reinstall, I'm using FSLTL. But that's kind of cool. But there was one. I mean, there's the famous story of the slats, right, where they would try to go faster. You'd pull a couple breakers, and then you can really get going. And then there was a new hire flight engineer when he came back from the LAV, or maybe it was a FO. He pushed the breakers in, slats retracted, airplane went into Mach tuck almost. Pretty neat. I mean, you talk about, this is old Boeing. This is the Boeing that I always loved as a kid. New Boeing to me is just, unfortunately, it's not the same, especially in light of what they've been up to as of late, their shenanigans. I'm getting a crazy, not a crazy, but it's like it's trying to track something there. TWA over Minnesota. Yeah. That's how it went over my career. The autopilot started out as a kind of suggestion that over time it became what the autopilot is trying to do. Yes, Tim. I hear you, man. Can we please touch the barber pole? Why not? What could go wrong? We'll select, we'll get it up there. We'll run it up there. Boeing Assassin enters chat. It wasn't to fly faster, it was to burn less fuel. Flaps 2 would give you that, but you should pull the circuit breaker for the leading edge flap and slat. All the pilots were blacklisted of that. Really? Jeez. Enjoy your everything failure. What? What? Hopefully nothing fails. Yeah, I can't wait. Tomorrow, we're really going to... we're going to push this airplane to its limits. We're going to be in the Aerosucre. Aerosucre, am I saying that right? And we're going to load it up as heavy as we can. We're going to do some sketchy airport ops. I'm thinking, I had a different route planned, but I'm hoping I'll be able, how cool would it be to go to Skibo, Bogota, to Pasto and back. We'll do a two-legger. Pasto, Skibo. I mean, that might be, we'll do 2 legs. That might be a lot of fun. Aerosucre max weight takeoff? Oh yeah. No, Harris, not max weight. Over max weight. Make sure when you use vPilot, you update the model matching so FSLTL loads all models. Yeah, Dom, yeah, man, again, that's a good reminder. I got to do that. I just barely got it installed before the stream. I literally installed it right before I went live, and then when I loaded the sim crashed. I was like, oh no, please don't be a sign of things to come. I'm going to try something here real quick. I'm going to disconnect my yoke. I wonder if this is a... You see how it's like... It's kind of like... It's like hunting. It's trying to get on course. We'll see if that stops the oscillation, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get my force feedback yoke to follow the autopilot, and sometimes when that oscillation happens, it just means I'm set too fine of a requirement for the yoke, and it can never sync up. I'm going to see if that smooths it out or not. What time's your stream tomorrow? Carson, it's at 11 Central, 11 a.m. Texas time. That was going to be my first stream. That's the plan. That's the one I've been prepping for. This one was literally come home. It was my 5-year-old daughter's birthday, so we went to the Great Wolf Lodge here in Texas, big indoor-outdoor water park, and I spent a day and a half there. And I wasn't planning on going live, and then I was like, oh, man, someone messaged me. I was like, yeah, the NDA lifts tonight at 7. I'm like, well, I guess I know what I'm doing. Grabbed the kids, said, get out of the pool. Daddy's got a stream. It's not the yoke. Looks like the plane is adjusting for its track every so often. Yeah, I think so, Team Vodka. Because it's still doing just a little bit. Oh, Carson, you're the one that messaged me. Okay, dude, I'm sorry, man. I've been so scatterbrained, man. I've been in the sun for like 24, 36 hours, even though we were inside half the time. But water parks and kids and screaming kids, and I'm just scatterbrained. Plus, it's hard. It's hard for me when I am so excited about flying an airplane, even though I've been flying it for the last couple of days, to stream, because all I want to do is like just do stuff and look at the airplane and fly at the airplane and listen to things and watch things happen. Not very good for streaming purposes. Great Wolf Lodges can be sketchy. This one was all right, man. He was all right. Going to be on vacation when this drops. Might have to come home to fly this. Definitely looks worth it. Virtual Flight Diaries. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. All right, so we're 88. We still haven't picked up DME2 yet. So is this new? So my flashlight automatically turns on at night. I don't want to land at night. We got to land at daytime. Sorry, 085, distance 178. Looks like I can turn it off with left Alt L. Oh wow, look at that. Let me turn off my flashlight. Hey, Captain Canada's in the house. What's going on, man? If anyone's going to convince me to pick up this airplane, it's going to be V1. What's up, everyone? Captain Canada, good to see you, dude. Hey, man. I think you're going to enjoy it. I do. I used to fly the Fly J72 around. I think you're going to like it. And here's something that I know as a content creator you're going to love. So I've always said there's airplanes that are better for streaming, and then there's just airplanes that while they might be really good, they're not good streaming airplanes because of the work environment, the task saturation between flying the airplane, dealing with ATC, dealing with chat, and everything else that comes with streaming, and then dealing with your airplane. So the crew manager is legit for lightening the workload, especially for content creators. So you can just run, you can literally on the ground, you can do pre-flight before start the engines, run an after start taxi, and it will do everything for you. I've been doing just the high workload ones as of late. So like after startup, I'll do the taxi checklist, and then I'll do the before takeoff. He'll set the lights, he'll make sure everything is set up top, and then after takeoff, he'll set the pressurization, because there's the ground flight switch you got to click, and if you don't click that right away, you have pressurization issues. So having this is a huge like release of tasks, a huge lightening of task saturation, if you will. And then you also have automatic monitoring. This would be really cool if you want to take it on long flights. You got the fuel feed. It automatically balances the fuel. You can automatically set EPR bugs and all that. You have airspeed bugs, fuel heating. Right now I have everything on except the airspeed bug because I was trying to mess with it during climb out. But this is huge for flying it in high workload environments. Definitely makes a difference. But I hope you're having a good night, man. All right, so I've been struggling with the overhead lighting. We already did the forward panel fluorescent. Ooh, I don't want to fly with that. We got to wind the sim time back. I don't want to land at night either. So there is like a flight only mode. I mean, it looks good at night, but it looks way better, I think, because I want to look at it. There's our lit up. So there is one on the overhead panel. I know there should be one for overhead. So overhead panel brightness, forward panel. Let's go back to norm. Dome light. So there we go. Dome light for the pedestal. That's pretty good. I don't know why I don't have an overhead dome. It's a dial. Yeah, all my dials are up though. That's the thing. See? Forward panel, overhead panel. That's this one. Right and left to the fluorescent light. Forward panel, overhead panel. That's the background. Right side dome. Everything's up. I had the dome on, and it's so dome off, dome on. And red is, yeah. So dome off, dome on. I was just wondering if there was, ow, dang, that is bright. I just didn't know if there was a floodlight for the overhead. You know what I'm saying? Try dome light by FE panel. Let's see. So floor, let's turn them all up. Everything's up. Golly, those lights are bright. There's the fluorescent light bar up there, next to APU on the wall. Next to APU. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, that's standby pressures. Dome light. Off. Where's that turning a light on? I see it changing somewhere. Huh. It's like an alien abduction. Yeah. It's the same light? Oh, that's the same as this one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't know if there was a flood. We got to watch our top of descent. We're getting close. If there was a flood for the overhead, you know what I'm talking about? All right, I'll show. All the overhead dials are up. I'll turn it up here. I'm going to go back. I don't want to land at nighttime anyway. Let's land. Let's set it to like 6. That's close enough. So all my overhead lights, let's look at them. They were all on. So everything is on. Overhead, I mean, that's the background overhead. Fluorescent panel, control stand. There is a known bug with the control stand red. So you should be able to turn this off and have a red control stand. So, but I think the red is a known issue that they're tracking. Oh, that should be on TARA. Oh, it is on TARA. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's the dome that we were switching. Carson, you've got a major storm headed your way? All right, man. Well, if you drop out, again, I appreciate you and appreciate what you've done on the 7-2. Is this a bit of a butter machine or no? Nabil, I've been having issues landing on centerline. Of course, all my landings have been in pretty good crosswinds as of late, but I don't know. I wouldn't call it a butter machine. I've had some firm ones. I haven't bounced it yet, though. That's a plus, right? Light override, all white cockpit for flood. Yeah, I had that on earlier. But I don't know. Maybe you guys are misunderstanding what I was trying to accomplish. I was trying to get a floodlight to shine up onto the dome, onto the overhead. Which we get floodlights everywhere else, but we don't have like a flood on the overhead, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn that fluorescent light back off. Oh, now we're override, normal, off. All right. I'm going to reconnect the yoke. Yeah, good question. Good point, Team Vodka. That would have been interesting. All right. We got to start our prep. Fud Life. V1 Nation, best nation. Love the 7-2. Hey, Fud, appreciate you, man. All right, let's take a look again. Our descent, we calculated it 81 miles, and we said we are how many miles from waypoint 5 to 6? That was going to be 66, so we need 44 plus an additional. So right about 65, 70 miles we'll start down for top of descent. We like them firm. We sure do, Cap Canada. We sure do, man. Dude, my MD-11 is freaking... I've been controlled crashing that thing since it came out. Cannot figure that plan out. James Birmingham, thank you for the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate you. It says V1 is a 7.2 capable of Mach 1 if pushed. I'm sure you'll get parts of the airplane above Mach 1, but they're probably not guaranteed to stay on. 91 miles, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Team Vodka. See, that's why I keep you around. Pumped for full flap juice. Oh, yeah. We're going to do flap 40 juice. I almost want to bind... Oh, look at that. There's that traffic over there. I almost want to bind my view below so we could see all the Kruger flaps. You can kind of see some of that wing flex in action there. It's got real nice, subtle, but very believable wing flex. There's actually a good depiction of it right there. You can definitely see it's flexed out. But while those Kruger flaps come out under the wing, that'd be kind of cool. We're not picking up 110.6. Let me double check my Moz VOR. Moz is supposed to be 110.6. Yeah, we just haven't picked it up. Outbound from Cabo, though, roughly 0.9 or 2. How are we doing? Let's go to our course. We're still on DME 1. Oh, there we go. 0.9 or 2. So it's actually pretty much bang on. So I've put the airway in the VOR here, even though we're doing our INS track, that we're still pretty much on the airway. We're looking very good. 94 miles. I'm going to select 10,000 feet because it'll allow us to slow down. 10,000 feet is set. We're going to select altitude arm, IAS hold, and I'm going to, whoa, don't do that. I'm going to bring the power back. Work that power back. And we're going to do an IAS hold on descent. Oh, remember, auto throttle only for cruise flight. Auto throttle is off. Bring those engines back. And now I can kind of use my engines as a pseudo descent manipulator. Let's turn this fluorescent panel off too. We don't need to be doing 4,000 feet a minute. Yeah, that flight director, I mean, I could just have it off. It's twitching because it's working through, oops, I had too much power. It's working through the nav. It's working through the INS. That's how it drives the INS. Maybe that can be refined in a little bit too. Let's bump this speed bug up. .300 knots. That's what we want. There we go. Can we get a sneak peek on tomorrow airports? Breadmaster, not yet. But like I said, I'm thinking Skibo, Nariño, Pasto, and back. Two-legger. Two-legger. This is also a checklist back here. Descent approach for the pilot, seatbelt, shoulder harness, anti-ice not required, brake pressure check, gear lever check, arrival briefing, altimeter, set cross check, landing data, EPIR, and airspeed bugs. Let's go ahead and take a look at our landing. Flaps 40, we'll update the weather. Minimum landing distance 5,200 feet. We'll set EPIR, set speeds. Is that going to screw up our IAS hold? Nah, we're doing fine. We calculated at 1,600 feet. We're doing like 2,500 feet. 20. Yeah, we can actually get a little bit more power in there. Shallow it out a tad. It's all right. It's good to be a little bit early anyway. Let's see. So 126, 131 on VAP for our V speeds, and they are bugged already. Matter of fact, I'll just. There we go. There's our. That's a good descent rate. 1,600. Oh, that's beautiful. We might end up landing at sunset. Oh, well. We'll figure it out. We can always wind it back for the replay. That guy above us is following us. That's 7-3. We don't have no TCAS, though, so. Joke's on you. All right, we just picked up La Paz. Wonderful. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to flip over 110.6, or not La Paz. Maz, Mike Alpha Zulu. 110.6 in Nav 1. I'm going to sync up my course line. I'm going to bring my flight director to VLOC, direct to. We're going to come back to our autopilot. We're going to go NavLoc. And now we're NavLoc, altitude select. So now we have freed ourselves from the INS. We're going to ride it in conventional nav all the way in now. There's no reason why not, but what I can do here to get a distance to the airport, we're going to do waypoint change 06 insert. I get a direct to waypoint 6, which is our field, 131 miles out. We're looking good. There's the island of San Juan up off the nose. Beautiful sunset. We're descending down to 10,000 feet. Beautiful. Yeah, Nabil, I love the analog sounds too, man. Oh, look at that shot right there. Man, what a beautiful sunset. All right, we'll land at night. I haven't landed this airplane one time at night yet, so oh well. Dom, you're 3,000 above? That's you? Nice. All right, so that's Dominus. What model are you in, Dom, out of curiosity? Island of San Juan? Yeah, San Juan's a city. Look, I told you guys, I've been in the sun for 36 hours. Screaming kids. I'm pretty sure I still have water in my ear. It's the island of San Juan. That everybody goes to that island to go to two places, San Juan or Ponce. Puerto Rico. Texan geography coming back to save us. Hey. That's why you never know what you're gonna get these late night streams, man. It's 9 o'clock, it's past my bedtime. Look, we could be flying A320 doing study questions. How lame would that be? I should be studying. Ain't nobody got time to study. We're going to be doing some 727. Progress Island, USA. Yeah, I know, Zippy. I'm actually surprised you're still ill, Zippy. Bourbon time? Nabil, it's bourbon time. Carson, I have a question for you. Maybe I'll ask you off chat. Because I run, basically what I was going to say is I run two PCs, right? I have my streaming PC, and then I have a PC at the house where I'm attempting to start doing like my video recording and editing on that PC. So when I do I don't have to come into the office and do the recording. I'll do it there. Will activating it on that computer give me issues? Should I just keep it on this one for now? If you can't answer it now, it's fine. Just send me a message in Discord. I'm excited to watch this bird, and I'm a mod to do my job. Zippy, I can't wait to watch you going into... we're going to have to do an MROC return. We're going to do a lot of South America flying in this airplane. Just because South America is so much fun, too. I mean, you got Costa Rica. Oh, well, that's not really South America. It's kind of the middle there. But south of Mexico, right? Even Mexico's got some cool stuff to fly into. But, I mean, there's some really cool airports. We did the MROC, which was cool. MGGT, that's always a fun one. That's Aurora. Then, of course, you've got everything at Colombia. Cartagena, Medellin, Skibo, Nariño. I mean, there's so many cool airports. And then you go down further towards Lima. You get some El Alto, really, really high altitude airports up there. Central America. See, I told you, man. It's past my bedtime. Dom's too close for missile switching to guns. So you're in the BBJ. Oh, so you are in the BBJ. So that was a proper model match then, Dom. That's cool. Central, thank you. See? We need realistic aero suit. Oh, SIPCO, it's coming, man. Okay, Carson, thank you. Yeah, I do, so sweet. Good to know, Carson. I didn't want to lock myself out. I'd cry. Alright, I guess we're going to try to land at night. I guess we can dim some of this stuff. Dim it down a little bit. I mean, I guess I could turn my pilot light on. Oh, no, I don't like that. Alright, 16 for 10,000, then we'll slow to 250k knots. Latin America and the Caribbean, LAC is the one you want. That's the one I want, man. You've been flying around Brazil lately? Yes, Jason. Brazil also has got some... I mean, Brazil, beautiful, beautiful approaches in there. I would like to unveil a surprise for chat. Zippy, let me try... I may not be able to do it while I'm live. I don't think I can do it while I'm live. I downloaded it, though. Forward panel background. That's the light I'm looking for. Is there a forward panel background light? Because we have the forward panel fluorescent light. But that sucker is bright. What I need is forward panel background. Is that not doing anything? Oh, maybe that's one that's missing. See, forward panel background. It's not changing it. Oh, currently bugged. See? That's alright. Horses are not loving the flight. This is Air Horse 1. What is our charts? I wanted to look at the approach. See how having that tab is so nice? Whoops. The arc starts the 258 outbound. That's VCUG. What are we tracking? We are tracking, we're well outside of that. We're on the 275 essentially, which is inside. We're pretty much straight in, aren't we? 267, 270. So Tinner, we'll basically go direct Tinner. We'll join that that inbound radial. Oh, that's off of San Juan though. Let's see if we can tune San Juan. 14-0. I bet you we will. We should be close enough, unless we're terrain mass. 14-0 and DME2. 102 miles. Yeah, we do have 14-0, and it's tracking. So, let's go ahead and be professionals. Let's sync our heading bug here. Sync our heading bug. Heading. Heading, select. We'll go turn knob, heading, select. Switch this over to 14-0, which is going to be the San Juan VOR. I will set my course direct to the San Juan VOR. 092, that looks close enough for me. We'll then go to Nav-Loc. Nav-Loc is armed. And now we're tracking, well, yeah, 270 inbound. So we are, yeah, we're looking good. We'll be fine. We'll basically just go straight in. We'll intercept the Loc, 1097. Let's set that up now. I do have my SATEC radio panel. I have to get that plugged in. Haven't even had time to do that, sitting over here on my desk. So 1097, that is for the ILS DME. Matter of fact, I'll put that on too. I know we're not going to pick that up yet. Miami to St. Martin for you, Breadmaster? Yes. If I had more time tonight, I would have done that. Alright, I'm going to put a poll in chat. No, not a Q&A. Q&A, that'd be kind of fun for studying. Do we want to continue with this landing at night, or do we want to take her in all her glory? I mean, I just feel like it's such a waste to fly at night. Especially if we have a couple bugged overhead lights right now. 1,000 to level off, and then we're going to slow to 250. I'm going to go ahead and just bring my power back. Day for flaps, I'm with you there, AJ. Once we hit 100 votes, we'll hit 100 votes, I'll call the poll. Actually, there's 400. Let's see, 50 would be 200 votes. Oh, it's winning. Day is going to win. Early evening, how about sunset? Yeah, I like sunset too. 60-40, we're going to win. So we're just going to do... We're going to do that. We'll wind it back. We flew into the night. That's what happened. Alright. We're level at 10,000. 80 miles out. We're still a little bit early. I'll keep the power in just a tad. Alright, our final approach course though, so I remember 101. He should be independent, right? I'm going to set the FO side to 101. Wait, don't forget. 101, minimums are 200 straight up. We'll set our radio altimeter on the 200. Beautiful. And let me close you for now. Crew manager, we have an approach and landing. There's really not much I think I want him to do. I might just do it on my own. Let's see if we can maintain 280 knots there. 67 miles direct line distance. Yeah, we're looking good. How's our fuel burn down here? Yeah, 3,200. Beautiful. Alright. I tell you what we can do though. Let's do this on our own. Let's go ahead and get the wing logo lights on, turn off lights on for juice. As we get ready to go through 10 thou. Oh yeah. Best classic plane, the Simbred Master? Yes, indeed. I would say so. I don't know what would compete even with this. We need more classic jets, and this is gonna be the one for me, man. I mean, I get the magenta line flying. It's modern, but man, it's just so much more rewarding flying birds like this. And there will be an FMS for this aircraft too. So there is an FMS coming for this airplane. So if you want to fly with a traditional style FMS, then you'll have that for you too. You'll have, what's that, 3-4 nav options? Would you consider this your current favorite bird? Yeah, man, I'm so partial to the 7.2 Nabil, it's hard for me to say no. Now, obviously, you have airplanes like the Fenix, which are just ridiculously modeled in all aspects that, is their number one for a reason as far as in-depth systems. I don't think there's an airplane out there. I mean, you could probably throw, if you can go into the GA market, you can throw A2A Comanche stuff in there. You could throw the Dukes in there with comprehensive failures. But as far as having fun and enjoying flying it, yeah, dude, this is what I want. It's a tri-jet that requires, it doesn't matter what nav system you have, you're going to be doing a lot of manual flying in this. You just have to. And that's what I love about it. Uh-oh. Robert Rendazzo in the chat. We'll have something to scratch your classic jet itch here in a bit. Ooh. Oh my, you heard it here first, chat. As long as that's the real Robert Randazzo, which I believe it is, I am very, very excited. Because, I think you'd agree with me. This sim severely lacks the classic jet. All right, we're approaching 50 miles, 10 and 250. No matter where you go, you're pretty much golden. Unless your field elevation is like 5,000 feet, then you might be high. But sea level, if you're 50 miles out, 10 and 250 ballpark numbers, you should be able to get down and stable. So we'll slow to 250 knots. I'm going to select 3,000. I'd probably do 5,000 here, but I like to fly low and look at terrain. So let's set 3,000 feet. Hopefully we don't hit any mountains. Actually, I tell you what. What's the min sector altitude on this approach chart coming in here? 5,400 on the southern side. So let's start off with 5. How's that? 250 knots on the speed. We'll go ahead and arm that. We'll do an IAS hold. Bring the power back. Down we go. L1011 PMDG confirmed. That would be something. I prefer the term dyno jet myself. I like it. A dyno jet. 250 out of 8.7. How are we looking on the FOs? LS, they're still way out, and terrain mass, so should be good. Let's go ahead and get fly live. Oh, no, I didn't mean to get fly live up. Cancel you. I meant flight recorder. Flight recorder's up and ready. Now, that's a point. I haven't even tested flight recorder with this airplane. Not even one time, so again, if you're part of the FSS dev team, just close your eyes. I don't know what's going to happen when I try to put this thing in flight recorder. The peninsula off the left is Old San Juan. Oh, wow, look at this view. Alright, that's all set, and fuel is balanced, looking good. Pressurization's coming down. Are we there yet? Almost, Vladimir. We're 40 miles out on the nose. 46 miles out. 6 for 5, 1,000, a level off. The sun's going. I swear, we cannot. I mean, we cannot get. We've wound the clock back like 6 times. I should have turned that off. It's independent, right? Independent flight director. Texas geography shining through again. Thrust set, they do. They look really crisp, man. And that's, I was so happy to see that thrust set, because that was one of the things I noted too. The very first pictures we saw, I was like, it looks good. And then I saw that some of the inside, I'm like, man, I don't know about that internal. But yeah, it's been changed too. I mean, they've been working hard on this airplane. Like I said, there's been 2. Well, actually, I think this is the 3rd version that I'm on now in the last couple of days. So, all right, you'll notice being up front with those tail-mounted engines, you really got to put your EPRs or N1s into your scan, because if you don't, you can't really hear, for the most part, what those engines are doing. I mean, you could tell when you're at high power or idle, especially if you go all the way to the stop. Now, from what I have been told is the flight engineer, I mean, that was his job. Before the power levers got to idle, like in a high altitude descent, they got to pull that cutout switch to mute the gear horn. But you got to really incorporate your engine gauges into your scan. Exclamation point specs, Doug, there you go. Amerijet parking in apron 6, right side up to the end ramp. Ooh, thank you, Super Deal. All right, 30 miles out, we're 5,000. We'll drop down here in a minute. So let me look at my, not my tablet. What is this? My clipboard. You said they park apron 6, right side up into the ramp. Apron 6. All right, so we'll roll it out. Hotel 5 and go to apron 6. We do have a scenery for this too, so should be good. All right, I can pretty much see where we're going. Let's set 3,000. This will be our last descent here before I take over hand flying. Do another IAS hold, power come back just a tad. And then once I start to break out and see where we're going. Actually, are we picking up? It's not flagged, but I don't think we're still too far out for Microsoft. I think real life you'd pick this up about 30 miles. Haven't been to San Juan in a while. Your binder, yeah. Oh, left side, apron 6. I saw apron 6. We'll go to apron 6. Yeah, Al, I really like the tabs. Been able to toggle back. Microsoft, it's always 20 miles. Aha, thank you, Breadmaster. That's right. Always 20 miles. It's not like LAX where you're cleared approach 60 miles out. And get new FOs that arm it up at 50 miles. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be S-turning for the next 30 miles. Let's just keep it in nav. 1,000 feet to level off. We'll bring up the cams. Try to straighten that out. Using the Bravo and the Brunner force feedback. How are we looking? We are really good. I tell you what, let's bring that chart up again, the approach chart, in case I need it. Final approach course 101. So let's select heading mode. Turn knob, heading select. And I'm going to move my course to 101. Looks like we have localizer. Oh no, that's the San Juan though. I got to flip the radio. 101. We'll flip you over to 109.7. And we'll put the nav 2 on San Juan so I have DME off of the San Juan VOR. We're slowing at 200. I can see... Oh, there she is. Autopilot's coming off. Let's turn the flight director off. Let's fly. Flight director's off. We're slowing up 200. I'm going to make a little bit... Oh, I'm going to make a little bit of an intercept here. Let's go heading. Let's bring it about 080. Final approach fix was 1500. We're a bit low, but we'll just do a real slow trickle down here for replay purposes. All right, we're on an intercept heading, coming through 200 knots. Let's get those leading edge flaps out. Let's bring up our crew manager. Approach checklist is going to run it. 1,000 to level off. 200 knots. We're looking good. Golly, it looks good. Let's get the recording on early, so I don't forget. Thank you. Replay is up and recording. We're really low on this approach. That's all right. It looks cool. I can see runway 10 on the horizon, about 500 feet to level off. We survived starting the replay, Carson. We'll see what happens when I throw it into replay mode. Yeah, we're super low. That's alright. Look how cool that looks. Could you imagine seeing 7.2? Oh, man. I'd love to see a 727 fly over my house at 1,500 feet. Keep slowing it back to 180. Flaps 15 coming in. Carson, I totally understand, man. Hey, we're troubleshooting. We got to find out what happens when we throw it into replay. 1,500 feet, 180 knots, a little bit more power, a little bit more power. We're way low, I know. That'll be a cool replay, though. Nothing like being 1,500 feet at 12 miles, 15 miles. I swear I don't work for Southwest. Trim it down, baby, trim it down. See what I mean about the power? Like, yeah, I really got to scan. It's kind of difficult. If you don't include that in your scan, you're really gonna struggle. Because you can't really hear what those engines are doing. They're so far back there. Especially if you have an ANR headset. Matthew Presley. I can't. Don't throw stones in a glass house. Don't throw stones in a glass house. Oh, look at this, though. How beautiful is this? A little bit of a rain shower off the right. Look at that. See, I got fast again. I'm over here looking around at views, and I'm getting fast. Alright, there's that glide. As soon as that glide slope, as soon as it moves, we're going gear down and configuring. It would help if I could stay level, you know? Alright, there's one white. Glide slope is moving. Crew manager's up for my landing checklist. Gear's coming down. Let's start slowing it up. Remember, there's no auto spoiler. You have to manually deploy the spoilers. We're going in all the way for flaps 40. I hope the landing lights are on. We're going to do the landing checklist, Carson. You're hopefully, crew manager will take care of it for me. Look at that speed decay. Yeah, lights are on. Can confirm. A little bit slow. Flaps 40 are coming in. Power, power.
1,000.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the light glow. Look at the light bloom. Oh, alright. We gotta fly this approach. I swear with flaps 40, I almost need to nose down on this glide slope. Or else you get slow. Alright, we're on speed, power set, gears down, manual spoilers. Here we go. One white, or one red rather. We're a little bit high, correcting. We're so dead. Hey, I've never attempted to land this at night, A-Rot, so this is a first for everybody.
500.
We might float it out. I don't want to break it on the first landing.
400. 300.
Gosh, I'm so not used to scanning like this. This is crazy.
200.
I'm so spoiled. Landing. Oh, come on. Where's the butter? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Juan. Hey, that was actually legal. Oh yeah, no auto brakes. That's all right, Carson. I forgot. We don't need auto brakes where we fly. All right, recording is stopped and ready to go. Clean it up. Let's just park over here. We'll leave our lights on. I'm gonna just bring the flaps up. We're just gonna go straight into replay mode. Juanito and Juanitas, welcome to San Juan. Nighttime flap action. Oh, there's an Atlas. Let's go park over there. Let's go park next to Atlas. I know our lights are on, but I don't want to go through clicking all 72 switches for replay mode. We'll do it, Zippy, after I park next to the 7.4. Look at that 7.4 beauty. Yeah, look at the strobe juice, too. Did you see that? Look at the reflection on the nav light on the ground. Beautiful. Oh, that's grass. We can't park there. I love the old school beacon. I'll do my best to kind of jerry-rig this parking job here. We'll see. I'm pretty sure our wing will go under his wingtip, so hang on. Hey, that actually wasn't half bad. Hella good strobe action, though. I like that. Look at that. Look at the lights. So you can get a really good shot of the lights here in nighttime. Love the rotating beacon. Strobes are juiced out. Logo light. How's the wing look there with the night light? Ooh, very nice. I love it. I love it. Migs, thank you for the $6.99 Canadian, my man. Appreciate you. Very kind. Barely legal floater, and don't say that out loud on stream. My wife is next to me. Just be too many questions. Migs, too late, man. We like it. Hey, barely legal is legal enough, man. There's no gray area. You're either legal or not, right? All right, let's jump into replay mode. We've closed Iveo Premium. Thanks again, Mix, for the super chat, dude. We're going to leave the flaps up because I'm going to try to replay them. And let's just see what happens. We're going to do a full-blown shutdown tomorrow. This is really a testing stream. It's late night for everybody anyway. So, Carson, FSS, hold your breath because I'm going into replay mode for the first time ever. And execute. Well, I guess I'll put the gear handle up. We'll let it load in here. Ooh, A-Rod. I can't wait, man. Let me know. 11 a.m. Central. Hold your horses. AJ, we need that emoji, dude. That's it. Zippy, we're adding yours, and then we're going to add a hold your horses emoji. For 727 only. Look at those suckers in there. Did they poop yet? Nope, no poop yet. So our gross weight stayed the same. All right, here we are. Actually, I want to see... The slats are out. My flap lever is up, so the slats are coming out as I originally put them out. So let's just see what happens. Let's ride it out. Let's ride this full replay out together. Look, the slats are coming out. Flaps are coming out. I didn't even touch my hardware. So that's good. Gross weight. Velociraptor, I get it. I get it, dude. Next issue in the tracker, simulate horses pooping. Oh, listen, the engines are working too. That's not me. I'm not touching anything. Hey, so far we are 10 for 10 on Flight Recorder, Carson. We got engine throttles working properly. We got flaps properly. Let me disconnect my yoke, though. Well, actually, my yoke is fine. I'll leave it connected. So far, 10 out of 10 on replay, Carson. Dom, thanks for a $5 super chat. Again, Dom has been dropping the bombs tonight. Dom, appreciate another $5 super chat. Fun stream, viewing. Catch you later again soon. Have a great night. Hey, Dom, thanks for flying along with us, man. I appreciate that. That was really cool seeing your contrails, too, man. Great flight, Dom, and you take care. Stay safe out there, bud. Appreciate all the support that you've showered us with here on the channel. Low FPS due to horse poop. So yeah, everything you're hearing right now, the engine's working and everything, that is native in the sim on Flight Recorder right now. I haven't touched a single thing. When did we lower the gear? I'm afraid if I speed it up, I'll mess with it. We'll probably hear the gear lever drop, so let's go ahead and let's do this view here until the gear drops. Carson says when you get on the ground, I have a few more things to show you. All right, I'll check it out, Carson. I'll try to, let's see, that'll be a point. I'll try to run it forward, and then we'll open the cargo door from inside, too. I want to watch the gear come out. I haven't watched that animation yet. Question is, will the handle go down? I don't know if it will, because my handle's in the up position right now. We'll see. Why are your panties in a wad, Pilot Master? What's going on over there? Settle down. I never used the checklist. Wait, there's a checklist? Oh, look. Okay, so the gear wanted to come out. I'll put my gear lever down. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, so the only thing I've done is put the gear lever down. Hey, Rod, there's a checklist? There's a checklist above the fire handles? Dude. Are you kidding me? I was wondering why it was back there. I used that one. All my life I've been wondering why there's no checklist. He just, wow. That's alright, let's take a look at these flaps 40. Look at that juice. Flaps 40. Look at that. More clipboards. Yeah, flap shake would be cool. That's the view you want right there. I can't wait to do a touchdown replay. Set the camera up. Yeah, dirt and textures, Andre. Look at that. And you got the tail skid has come down here. I love the 727 flaps, man. The juice is loose, Zippy. There's some barn doors off the wings, man, for sure. Wow, did you guys see that? There was a little boat trail there in the harbor. Coming over the bridge. A little bit fast. Hold it. I was holding it for the butter, Chad. I really wanted the butter. Could have had a little bit more flair. Oh, look. Hey, native spoiler and reverse animation. If I move my handle to the reverse, they'll stop flickering. The deflector door reverse action, those are going to go away soon, so enjoy them. Oh, when they pop out, let's take a look. Hey, Kyle, the last one was in the touchdowns too, my man. Just barely. Oh, that was smooth. That was smooth enough. It is in the 200s. Wait, you're getting rid of the reversers, A-Rod? Oh, the only on the 90s are internal? No. Oh. Internal only reversers. All right, let's watch a flyby of our touchdown zone. Wow, what a hell of a view that is. Actually, there's more light on this side, isn't there? Oh, let's do it right. Ah, screw it. Let's come back over here. We'll unsync the camera. Let's wind it back a few minutes. We can actually see and unsync the camera. Rotation speed up to 11. Let's see how we got here. Little left wing low. Not bad, not bad. Left wing low, though, as we're okay. We're okay. My first ever night landing, I'll take it. It's almost like I was through a little bit of a crosswind there, trying to battle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wind it back to here, though. Yeah, the windsock is pretty much dead, though, so it's just me sucking, I guess. I kind of want to do a fly overview here as we come over the threshold. I was desperate to get it. Yeah, I didn't want to float it anymore. You dropped the wing to find the runway. That's how we landed those things. Hey, see? I'm basically a 727 pilot at heart. I was trying to find that freaking runway, man. That's so cool, though. I mean, that's a testament to the flight model, right? So I'm doing things I didn't even know were part of the techniques in flying this thing. I've done that in the bus a couple times, not gonna lie. When you're just hanging at like 3 feet. 5. Oh, yes. Yeah. Golly. All right. Migs dropping a $5 super chat. Migs, I appreciate you, man. Or $5 rather. 5 gifted membership milestone. 5 gifted memberships. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. Hey, Migs, my man, appreciate that. If you pick up a membership from Migs, make sure you shout him out. Say thank you. I think that's gonna wrap it up for me, y'all. I think that's gonna wrap it up for me. Let me see here. Well, you guys look at that. I think this is the one. Another flight. No, I wish. We're going to do 2 legs tomorrow. The spiteful Aussie. Wow. Alright. I guess, well, school's not in session yet, so that's probably why we're getting those right now. That's alright, though. We're going to wrap it up. I'm going to let you all enjoy a full-length replay here as we go into San Juan. Oh, open the door on the rear air stairs. Okay, alright. Hold the phone, because we need to know this for tomorrow. Hold the phone. Stop the recording. Stop everything. Stop. Pause. Gear lever down. Go forward. Hold on. Resume replay. Gears down. Hold on.
200.
We'll land here, and then I'm gonna stop the replay. I'm gonna show. We're gonna do what Carson wants. I'll show you guys this because we're gonna do this tomorrow on our main stream.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
That's cool of you.
10.
Kiss it. Need a wheel erp in there. Where we headed next in the Dino Jet? Migs. The plan is tentatively we're going to go Bogota to Pasto, back to Bogota. 2-legger. That's the plan for tomorrow. Or we might just do a 1 leg longer. But I think we'll do a turn. I think we'll do the turn because it'd be kind of fun to take off out of Pasto. But we'll see. I got to get up at like 5 o'clock the next day in the morning to go to training, go to recurrent. So let me stop the replay here. We're going to stop short of the runway. Brakes are set. Clean up the flaps. And let's try something. Let's go back here. Let's open this up. Let's open up our cargo door. Power master on. Don't need a floodlight, I guess. Open. Ooh. This. Brian V, setting alarm for tomorrow's stream. Memory sucks. Hey man, my memory sucks too, dude. Brian V, thank you for the support. I'll see you tomorrow, my man. Mateo, I will definitely check it out, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Look at that. Alright, rear air stairs. Let's go to the rear. Let's go to the rear air stairs. Let's go to our horses. No more horse poop. Anthony, thank you. I will. Well, yeah, that'll be on Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm going to try to come back Monday, but I won't be streaming on Monday. DB Cooper time, indeed. Let's go back here. Hold on. Check for horse poop. No horse poop. It'd be cool if you could have it, like, if you have a landing over a certain foot per minute that the horses are just, like, laying down. All right. DB Cooper stare time. Whoa. Here's a lever. Oh, look at this. Oh, I can't walk out there. Why can't I walk out there? Ah! Hold on, let me see if my hack view will walk out there for me. Hold on. We're gonna hack view walk down the stairs. Don't get sucked inside yet. Oh no! I got trapped. That is cool though. Just even the sounds under this engine right here, that's got to be pleasant. Oh, I can walk in. Oh, that's how we're starting the stream tomorrow. Look at that. You can definitely pull a DB Cooper. Oh, yeah, this is not the view you want to be in here, unless you're DB Cooper. Okay, now I'm locked. I can't even move my camera. That was cool. Alright, and we found out there's a checklist. Is there anything else that I was blatantly missing that I should know for tomorrow's stream? Got a fire test. Very cool. Also, is there going to be an option to move? I guess you don't have to move it. I mean, I just feel like maybe like a few inches that way. I don't know. So like I think the default view is right here or something. My view's closer. It's not terrible. But A-Rod says probably a lot. Alright. Well, I'm not going to shut it down because I want to throw it into the replay for one last time. More discovery tomorrow, indeed. Hey, I'm just glad I found out where the proper rudder system switches were. Because that was driving me nuts. Ooh, a GPS option tomorrow, Carson? Perhaps. Perhaps. But I don't know. I just... that makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. Put a Garmin in here. Nah, I'm just kidding. We might. Yeah, we didn't do too much play with the flight engineer panel. Well, I think that's what we're going to do tomorrow. I might, instead of doing 2 legs, maybe we'll do a longer leg into Pasto. That way we can do our own fuel balancing and our fuel temperature. Can we dump fuel? There's your valve in transit. Wasn't there like a flow where you had to like move all these to make sure that everything opened and closed and you check those? And then I used to have like some flow down for that panel, but I forget it. We mess with the generators. Yeah, I know where it is. Oh, so it does work? So we can actually... Oh, yeah. So these all work. So yeah, I guess we can. Fuel dump? Okay, maybe we'll do a fuel dump. We'll do a fuel dump. The dimmers... Oh, we already messed with these, Team Vodka. These are for the back. Circuit breaker. Panel lighting. Panel and table lighting. So there's your table light down there. Fuel flow reset. Probably need to hit that. Oh no, those aren't implemented, Team Vodka. Yeah. In real life, you could rotate this to dim it. Yeah. But I don't think you can do that in the sim. Yeah, to show you, like, this little metal thing would... It's like a... What do they call that when it turns? Yeah, it'd probably be too much to implement at this point. And honestly, at the cost of frames, I'm good with it. We'll see. All right. 10 o'clock at night. Now that we've messed with everything... Bring the gear handle back up. Now I'm done. Alright. Now I'm done. Here you go. Oh, shoot. Cargo door's open. Close it. Pretty sure that just rendered us unflyable. Is it going to close? It's struggling. Oh, it's coming down. Is it going to close? Ventilation. All right, enjoy it from this view. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in on this last minute first look stream. Tomorrow I will be much more prepared, I promise. I know me, and I know that if I found out I could have streamed at 7, I would have not have been able to go to sleep. I've been waiting for a quality 727 since X-Plane 10, and we've got one. So I can't wait to show you all tomorrow what's going on. It's going to be a lot of fun. Shout out FSS team. Thank you for sending me a copy of this bird. I hope to continue to discover sweet little new features tomorrow, and it should be a lot of fun. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, thank you to the massive donors today. We had some absolute massive drops. Team Vodka, Dom, Migs, Canadian. So appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you so much. James Kirk dropped the 20 earlier too. AJ Funari. I always tend to miss AJ's super chat and gifted subs. So sorry, AJ. But y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Get those see-yas in chat. And we'll be live tomorrow, bright and early. I'm coming into the office in about 5 hours and make some tutorial vids. So that ought to be fun. Carson, thanks again. Apparently Discord now, so if you guys have any questions, I'll be there and let the rest of us in the FSS server. Yep. Carson, no worries, man. I'll make sure you have the proper role after I log off. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. I'm V1. See you.
Fifty.